Some survivors of this year's fires in Hawaii insist it's too soon to reopen to visitors.
Hawaii's governor and mayor are inviting tourists back to the west side of Maui, months after the August 8th fire killed at least 100 people and destroyed more than 2,000 structures. They want the economic boost during the holidays. But resident Katie Austin says it's not good for the community.
We weren't ready. We still don't have our education, our schools figured out.
Austin says it's not good for people's mental health to see tourists frolicking as the community is suffering. In West Maui, efforts to clean up toxic debris are painstakingly slow. I'm Donna Warder.
One person is dead after being hit by a truck while she was standing outside a railroad station in southern Germany this morning. 37-year-old woman killed, 4 pedestrians seriously injured. Police say at this point they assume it was an accident, but their investigation just getting underway. News and analysis, townhall.com. It may not keep pace with the ruinous inflation we've seen in recent years, but at least it's something.
Residents in several New England states looking forward to a hike in the minimum wage in 2024. In Rhode Island, the state's current $13 minimum wage will jump to $14 an hour on the first of the year. In Vermont, the state's minimum wage will reach $13.67, while Maine will see its hourly minimum tick up from $13.80 to $14.15. In Connecticut, the minimum will rise from $15 to $15.69. Jason Walker reporting.
And a raft of new laws taking effect in California as of January 1st. These include protections for workers who smoke marijuana at home and doctors who mail abortion pills to patients in states where the procedure is banned. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of the world down his shoulder. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm breathing through it. The electro guitar, the beyond music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes, the Friday of the holiday week between Christmas and New Year's. We're wrapping that week up here. We got the big New Year's weekend. Hopefully folks have plans to ring in the New Year's this weekend. And got maybe a little last bit of vacation downtime before we go back to work. And except for the kids, of course, they're off. But the rest of us, you know, if you have been off for the week or so, back to the salt mine next week here. So enjoy your last little weekend hurrah of time with family and friends and time not being at work for those that get to enjoy that. So a happy Friday to y'all. Big thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's. It is Friday, and it's a holiday Friday, but it is still Friday. So big thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's. They, as they do each and every single Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. And if you're hungry, the hunger pains, I get it. You wake up like, and then you're like, especially if it's a day off today.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't feel like cooking. You know, kids, let's do a McDonald's run. Well, download the app. You know, hopefully you already have it downloaded. But if you don't, download the app. And then you can use that and get the kids all their breakfast stuff and get you your coffee and your breakfast sandwich or whatever you're going for. and then you can actually have it delivered. So if you're like, I don't feel like getting out of my robe this morning, no biggie. It can be delivered through the app, or if you're like, no, I want to get out and see the world today, then you can go through the drive-thru, pick it up, or you can dine in, where you just say you go to the UFO McDonald's. You can bring the kids in, and they can go right to the play lane. You go pick up the food, meet them in the back, and let your fun McDonald's adventure begin. But either way, the app is your friend. Don't forget to download. When you do download that, utilize the deals in there, because you start building reward points and then you get free food. But the deals, like there's one in there that's usually there every time. The 20% off your purchase one. That one, I live. I every time I'm like, oh, good deal. Yeah, but there's that 20. That's what I get. So, because I get a double fillet of fish. That's my sandwich of choice. But anyway, but big thank you to McDonald's, and happy Friday, everybody.
I still haven't downloaded the app.
Really? I to be honest, since that app, I've put it in my phone. I can't remember the last time I just like walked up into a McDonald's and like walked up to the counter and said, "Give me a Big Mac" or what. I can't remember doing that. It's been so long that because I just use the app every time. I think it's like, oh, we're going to McDonald's. Okay, hold on a second. Let me do that real quick. So, and they're great because McDonald's is everywhere.
Yeah.
And so when you go anywhere and you're like, oh, there's McDonald's nearby, boom, 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 hit it, and you get to go through and on your way. So it's very convenient. So.
Yeah. Do they deliver? Or?
Mm-hmm. There's McDelivery on there too. So you can have, I think they go through DoorDash or one of those delivery services.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can go through the app, have it delivered, and it shows up right at your doorstep there. So it's very, very handy. So if you want the McMuffin but don't want to get dressed to go get the McMuffin, I get it. Especially on a Friday between Christmas and New Year's, I absolutely get it.
I just think it's funny. We had to like prepare so much to get like fast food to be able to deliver. Now it's like just to pull that trigger on fast food, you know.
Yeah, well, I guess
like so much technology had to be invented.
To get it to where you can get any food, because otherwise. Mm-hmm. Restaurants would have to have their own, kind of like your pizza places or your Chinese restaurants. You know, they always have
delivery has been a thing for like decades.
Same with Chinese food restaurants. That's been maybe not so much here, but in other places. That's there were certain foods you're like, those are deliverable foods. Chinese food, pizza. Mm-hmm. That was really about it. You know, most of it was like, I go get it. You want to.
I mean, I still don't get delivery. I don't know. There's something about it that just seems like.
Well, it's the epitome of because you're late. It's just laziness. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're just like, I don't feel like cooking nothing. I don't want to go out and get the food. Wait, I can just hit this button on the thing.
Unless I'm having a party or something, then yeah, like.
Well, to be honest, I think if I'm planning something, then I'm going out and getting and doing all the stuff. It's to me, it's just I come home at the end of the day. I'm tired of everything. I don't feel like fixing anything. I'm like, all right. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I got a sandwich delivered. You know what I mean? That's.
I don't know. If I was a delivery boy, I would rather deliver to a party than just one guy in his underwear.
Although if people tip well, which you should if you're going to be doing that, because that's kind of an extravagant thing, and if you're going to do that, that's what there's the debate. It's like, should we get it? We can't afford it. And this and that. Yeah, you're right. If you can't afford to tip, then you probably shouldn't do it. Go make something or go get something. But if you're going to do that, then tip the people. Don't be a savage.
It reminds me of that this video. It's like a guy a pizza delivery, and the door opens and out comes like a chimpanzee, and like a T-shirt and stuff, and he hands him the money and takes the pizza inside and everything.
Well, see, now that on the other side, that's where I would be a little, because like, who are these people? I mean, I'd be more, if I'm the delivery person, I'm like, I don't know who I'm getting to every time. But anyway, my point is, big thank you to McDonald's. That's where I'm going with that. Big thank you. If when you get hungry today, go ahead and get that app. Download it, utilize it. It is your friend. So,
I don't know where you stand on tipping, but I am vehemently against it. Like, I think it should be abolished.
Well, I think
that people should just pay their servants.
I agree. I think the restaurant world should have it to where they pay their servers a livable wage where they don't, much like Europe or, other parts of the world.
Yeah.
But because that's the system in place, and I don't have a problem with it. Now I'm not for tipping everything that happens.
Yeah.
Like if I got stuff myself and then went up to the thing to check out, and then they want me to tip them, no, I'm not doing.
Well, yeah,
that.
because they're not serving you with a smile or.
Yeah, but that's how it is in the world today. Like
they're not calling you sweetie.
Yeah, you go to get like you didn't have anything. Like you go to get like takeout food, and you walk up to the counter and you order your food, and then when you go to pay, they're asking if you want to add a tip. I'm like, a tip for what? You didn't do anything other than take my order,
spin the screen
and prepare
around.
the food in the back. Yeah, I didn't. It's not like I was sitting at a table and you filled my drinks and everything.
Yeah.
I literally came in, took a bag, and walked out. I don't see a need to tip you for that.
Yeah.
But yes, other services, haircuts, a tip. If you do travel and people handle your baggage and all that, you tip. You do all that kind of stuff. But
I mean, tipping should be like an option. It shouldn't be like a mandatory thing where it's like you're goaded into it because you chose to eat at a place that doesn't pay their waitresses.
Yeah, but we're sheep. Yeah. People are sheep, and so if you tip somebody, and which it's not a bad thing or whatever, but people use tipping as some kind of baller status to themselves. So and so we feel like, oh, he tipped, now I'm going to be a bigger baller, and you know what I mean. We try to one each other up, and then it just turns into tipping's expected. Because that's just how we've done it over the years.
And then people had to like calculate on their own, like, what is it, 17% of what you paid for it?
Yeah, I'm just. I will tell you, I just do 20, unless they blow me away. Even if they're not great, I'm like 20.
20? Mm-hmm. I don't even do that.
Well,
5 is probably like the most.
If I'm going to go out and eat and they're going to serve me and all that,
yeah,
I will do 20%.
Oh, 20%. Sorry, I thought you meant a $20 bill every time.
No. 20% of the bill, whatever the bill is. That's usually, from what everything is like. And back when I was a kid, 20 is if you did good service. Usually it was like 15. Now I think 20 is more the standard for people. If you do a job that isn't making you mad, then you get 20. That's kind of the way most people see it nowadays. But
yes.
Yeah, it's gotten a little over great. We got to reel it in a little bit, tipping for getting services brought to you is one thing, but basically push buttons and say $5.95, give me $1 tip for saying that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So,
well, it should go in the other direction then. It's like because everyone says like, well, it's it's everyone else's fault for not paying their waitresses, so why should we do it? But.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said that maybe they need to rework the model. So now I don't own restaurants, so I'm not probably the most qualified person to say this, but every other industry has to pay their employees for the work they do. Why isn't restaurants any different?
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like such a political thing to talk about when it's like not,
Well, it's because at the end of the day we're dealing with people like if you're a wage earner and quite frankly, I'm going to guess most waiters and waitresses probably make way more tipping than if they do get in their regular salary, obviously because they get paid less, but I think even if they got a better wage, people would tip less. So at the end of the day, I don't think waiters and waitresses want to stop because they make a lot of money depending on the restaurant and how good they are. But some of these waiters and waitresses can make quite a bit of money on tips, putting themselves through college and things like that. Whereas if they were just paid a regular wage, I don't know if they could pull that off. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert in all that, but yes, on the outside looking in like every other person out there, why does every other industry have to pay their employees, but the restaurant industry gets to push that on us a little bit? So maybe we ought to rethink that.
I'm just happy that McDonald's was not stormed this morning because usually they're stormed on the Friday morning.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it's that holiday week. So there's a lot of people off work this week, so a lot less competition to get their McMuffins at 6 a.m. on a Friday. So, but big thank you to McDonald's. Let me give the rundown. I haven't even gotten into the show and all that. We're already 17 minutes into the show, so I better get crack-a-lacking. We're going to replay an interview this hour on Wednesday. I have to get because it's a short week, and I was like, Monday? No, it wasn't Monday because that was Christmas. Wednesday, which was kind of like our Monday. We had artist Greg Birch back with us, and Greg, of course, friend of the show, painter of beautiful works of art. He's brought me several paintings. Well, he joined us on the radio Wednesday to talk about a project he just finished up, Old Ironsides, and he's working with the museum on that. Talk a little bit about some book covers and things he's working on, and then we surprised my wife with a Dallas Cowboys painting that was kind of kept on the down low for like 2 months and was unveiled on Wednesday. So we're going to play that interview here in just a bit, just a fun little 20-minute interview. In the 8 o'clock hour, right at 8:15, Crystal Noble joined us yesterday from the Humane Society talking about what they've got going on. And we talk a lot about food, too, because we do. So we're going to play that interview for you here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then around 9:15, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us, kind of give us a little recap of 2023 and talk about what's ahead for 2024 and just thanking everybody for another great year at the Historical Society. So we'll have that interview with Amy here in about 9:15. And, of course, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local variety, the national variety, and your Wall Street business updates and all that. Don't forget, final day of the Pocorn and Goddard Invitational Tournaments. All the final day action you can find at ksvptv.com. You can also find it at Ground Zero at Goddard and the Coyote Den at Roswell. Still get passes. Go out there and enjoy another full day of basketball action. The big final games happening today. But, of course, we'll have all those games also for you at ksvptv.com. We got the two channels there. One channel has all the games taking place at Ground Zero. The other channel has all the games taking place at the Roswell Coyote Den. We only have announcers, again, for the Artesia, Goddard, and Roswell matchups. The other games that don't involve those three schools, we have video, but no announcers or anything. So you can tune in and watch at your leisure. Also, don't forget tonight, big night at the Liberty. We got Radio Razzle Dazzle. That's happening tonight. Doors open at 6. It's a dinner and a show. You can still get tickets right now at thelibertyinc.com. I got my tickets the other day. Good to go. Dinner and a show. It's a radio play. Basically, it's the play is a group of people doing a radio show, like back in the old days with the Foley and the sound effects, except for the group's getting ready to do their show and then all goes wrong, but it's a live show and must go on. So it's a comedy, kind of a behind the scenes of a show as a comedy. So it's a lot of fun, but that's tonight at the Liberty. Get your tickets, thelibertyinc.com. It's going to be a great show. We had the cast in earlier this week, or some of the cast in earlier this week. I invite you to go back and check it out at ksvptv.com. But it's going to be a fun night tonight, and dinner looks good too. Pot roast or chicken a la king. So good meal and a great fun evening of entertainment. But that's tonight at the Liberty, thelibertyinc.com. And while you're there, you can get tickets for all their other upcoming shows and events too. They've got a full slate of events coming up. All right, 7:21. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good all the way through the holiday weekend. High pressure in the Four Corners and the southwestern states, and that'll keep us sunny today. Afternoon high in the upper 50s to low 60s. Mid-20s and clear overnight, and then we're looking at upper 50s for the afternoon high on Saturday and Sunday. We should stay sunny. For New Year's Day, sunny and a little bit cooler, right around 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 26 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 75% with winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. For today, sunny skies. Expect a high in the upper 50s, 58 is what they're telling us today. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Looking at an overnight low of 24 degrees. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Saturday, mostly sunny, highs near 60 tomorrow. That'll be nice. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 29 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. For New Year's Eve Sunday, sunny skies. 58 for a high. Winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. When you go out to ring in the New Year Sunday night, mostly clear skies. Expect an overnight low of 29 degrees. For your New Year's Day Monday, sunny skies and a high of 51. And it looks like for a good hunk of next week, kind of more of the same. 50s, low to mid 50s for highs, with overnight lows in the upper 20s, low 30s for next week. That's kind of what they're saying at the moment here. All right, 7:23. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Greg Birch, artist Greg Birch, and the unveiling of his Old Ironsides painting, and also Kim's little surprise as well, too. That's all up next. Don't go away.
Listen, fellas, I'm about to give you the skinny. Are you tired of not having anything fun to do to celebrate the new year with your gal? Well, here's the scoop. Friday, December 29th, the Liberty is hosting an evening of dinner and a show called Radio Razzle Dazzle. The show is set on New Year's Eve 1940 in a radio studio where you get to watch a live radio play being performed. However, the scripts are missing and the cast and crew have passed out or eloped and the sound effects machine is broken. So you'll get to watch and see if the remaining cast can pull off the radio event of the year. I hear it's a real gasser. This will make a perfect holiday date night for you and your gal. So ring in the new year in style by joining us at the Liberty Friday, December 29th for Radio Razzle Dazzle. Check out thelibertyinc.com for tickets. Brought to you by MW Entertainment and 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's traveling to the holiday family dinner in an efficient Accord hybrid, or heading to a hike to burn it off in a powerful CR-V hybrid. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Accord Hybrid and 2024 CR-V Hybrid.
Happy Honda Days are here, and just in time for the best deal of the year. Visit Roswell Honda today.
See dealer for financing details.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
It's the season for New Year's resolutions. One of the most popular is to get in better shape. Maybe it's time to make the resolution to get your spiritual health in shape. Are you taking the time to pray, to spend time in God's Word, to spend quality time with the church? Maybe you don't know what to say to God. My advice is just start the conversation. Nothing formal is ever needed. He listens to all who reach out to him. Don't know where to start reading the Bible? Start with the story of Jesus in the book of Mark, or read a psalm or two each day. Haven't gone to church in a while because you got hurt there? Or you feel like it's full of hypocrites, or you don't think you'll fit in? Remember this one thought. Churches are not museums that display perfect people. They're hospitals where the wounded, hurt, injured, and broken all find healing. None of us are perfect, but we can gain peace and contentment from the one who is, Jesus our Savior. Take advantage of the new year to start fresh with your spiritual heart health.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, or back in studio this morning, artist Greg Birch back with us. Good morning, Greg. How are you doing today?
All right, sir. And how about you?
As always, appreciate the visit. How was your Christmas holiday? Did you have a good holiday with family or do anything exciting?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good deal. What's I'm curious. What's the? Because you're a food guy. I know you love your food as much as I love my food. What's the Christmas meal consist of in the Birch household?
Prime rib.
Can't go wrong with the prime rib.
No, sir.
You cook it yourself or have someone else do it?
No, I do it.
I
do it.
Nice.
This one this year was awesome.
Good deal. So you go horseradish au jus or what's
Nah. Basically, it's a garlic butter.
Okay. Nice.
You can't go wrong with that on the prime rib.
I'm one of those people, I can eat prime rib without any of that stuff. But if you give it to me, I'll use it.
Well, that's the deal, Whenever it's a choice meat, how do you go wrong?
Yeah. I came from a land when I was a little kid. I was the ketchup on the steak guy. But I was a kid, right? You're allowed to. It's when you're a grown man that you got to stop doing that stuff. So
now there is
Trump.
a secret to that prime rib too, that was handed down. And of course, this comes from a couple of restaurants over in Paris, but they like to inject red wine on one side and a white wine on the other side.
Okay.
Into the meat.
All right.
A meat injection.
I
haven't tried it, but I'd love to.
Hey, I've had other food with wines in it, and I found it very delicious. So why would that be any different? So,
and what they basically say is that the wine won't cook off like a beer. Or anything like that does.
Gotcha. That aging process or something kind of gives it muscles or something. I don't know. But for folks not familiar, Greg has been on the show multiple times. He has given me multiple paintings here, including the Metallica one that got a little run here with the band itself and all that.
Still is.
And still getting a run with that. Of course, did some beautiful work for Sean with his daughter and him, and Roy as well, too. Of course, Man's also got paintings in, like the Cowboy Hall of Fame and a few other museums and places like that around the country. And you're kind of involved in another one of those kind of deals here with this painting, right?
Yes, and we're still in talks on this one because there's lots of stuff that's going down here at the end of the year.
Okay.
Fundings and stuff like that for museums.
Okay. Well, there's always red tape.
Yes.
But for folks that aren't watching the video, Greg has bought one of his latest works in. He's always got 60 paintings going, but this is one that's got a little. And so talk a little bit. This is actually for a historical deal. Old Ironsides. I think most people in history are at least aware of Old Ironsides and know what the significance behind that ship.
Well, I hope they do. This ship, whenever I started this painting, this thing was like 90% done.
Okay.
And
this before the thing came on your radar.
Yeah.
It was just coincidentally you were doing this when this came up. Got it.
And I had requested some information from the National Archives. And stuff like that. Nothing had came through. And, the ship had went through like 5 restorations during its life. And it was, whenever it was just in the harbor, this whole upper deck was just a housing quarter for the...
It was missing all of the...
all of that. All the
upper
cells,
infrastructure. Yeah.
Everything. So I didn't want to do that painting of it. So that was...
Yeah, because everyone be asking, what's that? They think it's one of the ironclads or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started
came a little later
with what she looks like today, which everybody is kind of familiar with.
Kind of when if you go to Boston to see it, that's kind of what you're going to see. Yeah.
Well, come to find out, I had this painting 90% done. Then I got the information, and I mean, I've got to the centimeter how much line was on this thing to the centimeter.
Wow.
And come to find out, all them cells was 1 acre. That's how many cells, or that's how much cell was on this ship. 1 acre.
And that was silk. You know how valuable that was
back in the day.
Oh man, I mean, how valuable it is now. Take it back then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they made sails out of silk back then.
Right here on the front, they had Hercules. Did not know that. It's a piece of lost history that I was just like, Okay. Because if you look at her today, she just got that little bulk on the front. Comes down on the curve. Well,
so you got it with the full artist work on the front there.
So what you're looking at is the only known second painting that has Hercules on the front.
Oh,
of
wow.
Her.
Okay. So it adds a rarity to that.
The first artist, he painted what this ship had looked like. So I was going by what his original paintings was, what he had documented during her initial launch.
Okay.
And the color of her was yellow ochre. And here on the cannon ports, that's down the side, that was yellow ochre. Then it went to white. Then it went back to yellow ochre. Then it went back to white, to what you see today.
Okay. Was it always yellow, or did it just get weathered and become yellow?
No, that's how they painted it.
Okay, all right.
Yellow ochre. Which, now, that's where you can bicker back and forth, because what was yellow ochre back in the 1800s,
Sure.
1700s,
Sure.
to what it is today?
Yeah.
That's what we can sit there, me and some of the other artists and the historians are, okay, but what was the true yellow ochre?
Sure. Well, and that's just it. I mean, you look at like food, because food's way different now, and so their version of yellow corn would not look the same as yellow corn today.
Yeah.
You know, that yellow may be more yellow or less yellow. I have no idea, but
and then
you're right. Yeah.
On their, excuse me, and then on their, on the original plans of her, all they had was that it said black tar pitch. Okay. But then when you go back and you look at what black tar pitch was, it doesn't actually say that it was an actual tar.
Okay.
You know, and
it's
then
a tar-like or some other chemical.
and then
or
the
something.
pitch was basically just like this woven stuff that they would put in between the boards.
Okay.
Okay,
Seal
but
it.
then what was this? And so basically what we've got it down is that more than likely what happened is they've either used well blubber with some of the barks off of trees.
That makes
That's
sense.
the closest that we've got to what that black would
And
have
that
looked
makes
like.
sense, because whale blubber was used for a lot of sealings and lubricants
Exactly.
and things like that back then. That was very
And where
common.
she sailed was nothing but salt seas.
Yeah, they it does make sense there. So now let me now talk about what's going on with the contest or whatever, the deal with the museum here, because like you said, you just happened to be painting this Ironsides, and then all of a sudden you found out that the museum's got something going on here.
You're talking about the
Yeah,
Ironside?
yeah.
What they do is they do private collections and
Okay.
things like this. So I was just sitting here painting the thing, and I was just like, well, I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can't get this painting into the National, or not to the National Archives,
Right.
but to the Boston Harbor. And so they responded back, and yeah, everything is good, and we're in talks. And is it going to happen? I just don't know, because you got, like you said, there's so much red tape in what's going on right now.
Sure.
These paintings have to be insured to a cost, etc. And some of that gets funded, some of it don't.
It's
that's
like,
where it falls.
Well, I imagine what's got to happen is it just gets put in front of the right eyeballs, and then the red tape magically disappears.
And then you're going through, whenever you try to do one of these proceeds like this,
Yeah.
you're going through 60 different people.
Sure.
You know.
And what I love about this is, and what you do with like a lot of your paintings too. Yes, it's a picture of old Ironsides in the ocean.
Constitution.
But then, like you said, you subliminally put in, some of the significance behind it, the Constitution there, and just kind of and exemplifying the significance behind that ship and what its role was in the revolution, and it is a symbol of our freedom to this day. When you look at the time in our history when we became a nation, and we look at artifacts and things that we think of as icons from that era, Ironsides is one or two on the list. It's
And the Hercules was actually lost at sea, is what they said.
And what I like too is because I think a lot of people think of Revolutionary War through art.
Yeah.
Like when I'm going to guarantee that most people, when they think of Revolutionary War, the first image comes in their head is that famous George Washington Valley Forge painting of him crossing the Valley Forge on the boat.
Yeah.
It's dramatic.
And the Jaws theme playing behind it.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's kind of, so I think
most people think of the Revolutionary War imagery and stuff through art,
right?
And so to me, this is it's so cool, and I really hope that the people in Boston kind of say, you know what, this would be a great addition to our museum here.
Well, and like I said, it's only the second known to be within a historical of what his painting was, that he said everything was about the ship. And there's actually a scroll. That's what he's holding out. And the scroll on their original documents was recorded that they said that Hercules was holding the constitution of the original 13 colonies. So the Constitution at the time was based on the original 13 colonies.
Because that's all we had at the time. I love that. That is so.
And this ship was also used in 1812.
No, that's a different ship.
There was an iron.
Well, see, now she was one of a five fleet here.
Yeah.
That was a 5-ship fleet that went out. That
War of 1812 was like 30 years later, 40 years later. Yeah.
I teach War of 1812 my students, and we mention the ship.
Yeah, they have the style of ships, but I don't think it's that exact ship. But yes, yeah.
Yeah, and see, she had like 6 names before she came actually down to the USS Constitution.
Yeah.
She was going to be called the North Carolina, and then the George Washington, Freedom.
They had it in Baltimore years ago for a minute. Like I remember going to Baltimore and seeing they had it there in Baltimore. It was for a special deal, and because I don't know how seaworthy that ship really is anymore or anything, but this was 30 years ago.
Yeah, basically they take it out. They'll take her out on a tour and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and they'll launch the cannons. Just dummy stuff.
I don't think I'd want to go on an ocean
Voyage with
crossing
her.
voyage on that
On
thing.
that ship, yeah.
Nah.
Now you're getting into Nina Pinta and Santa Maria type conditions.
And you may discover where they were lost.
But that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful.
Yes. Very
so
nice.
I'm curious. What are you going to do with it in the meantime? Is there any just keeping it under safe till either day or somewhere else?
Well, I'm supposed to give them till February.
Okay.
And then probably after February, I'll come back on your show and I'll do a reveal and donate this to you, to the Legion again.
Oh, shoot. That'd be.
And if nothing happens with her at that, because, their hands are tied.
Yeah.
They can't do anything, and you can't force the museum to take it. They're
Sure.
trying the best that they can do.
Sure. Well,
But private collections are private collections.
as a person that serves on the board of the Historical Society, I get it. You only have so much room for so much artifacts, and you want to treasure everything. But if you can't do it properly, then you shouldn't do it at all. So
Exactly.
That's kind of what I'm sure their mindset is. On
And they
some of
don't want to lose that stuff to history either.
Exactly. Yeah, they love history. They would probably take it in a heartbeat if the amenities and the resources were available. But like
when your
you
hands
said,
are shackled, you can't.
And let's face it, Old Ironsides is a iconic piece of history, and there's going to be a lot associated with that.
And what's funny is that I went on to, well, you know how I work Facebook, putting my stuff out there. But there is a lot of historians that did not know about Hercules being on the front.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit. I don't know all the history, but I knew, and I'm just one of those people that like that kind of stuff, so I read it. But
so I had to completely change this frapping thing because it was 90% done, and you know how hard it is to paint over black.
I can imagine. It's probably hard to fix.
There
It looks
was a few-
beautiful though. It is such a beautiful
It
the
is.
detail
Well,
in
thank
it.
you.
Like I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I got lost in the ocean for a minute or two. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a boat, but I got just kind of lost in the just the painting of the ocean and how well it looks and how cool it looks so beautiful. And then of course you got the I'm guessing sunrise or sunset situation going on here with you can kind of see some of the other ships in the background. It's just a cool ocean shot.
Yeah.
It's a cool shot here. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well,
but I've got also another book coming out.
Oh, good.
Book cover. She's doing all the.
Which one's this one for? Is this Billy the Kid or?
No, this one here is that murder mystery.
I got you. The one we were
second
talking about last time. Yes.
And she's doing the proofs on the proof readings and everything. So probably here at the first of the year it'll be dropped, and it has to do with Roswell. But
well, you look forward to seeing that, and when we come back here. But we got one more thing to do.
Yeah.
I didn't really need you to co-host today.
Huh?
I didn't need you, Kim, to co-host today. Greg has a gift for you.
Me?
Yes.
No, really?
Greg painted you a painting as well.
Oh. Oh my God.
Greg painted you a Dallas Cowboys painting as well.
One of a kind.
Isn't that beautiful? It's got all the Super Bowls on it.
That is awesome.
You know I hate that with my ounce of my core, but that's I know you love it.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, I know she's a Cowboys fan. I want to paint her something.
What you're going to see is that this is color shift.
That is beautiful. Oh, it does the color shift too, huh?
You'll see it
Oh,
change
the
to
silver?
purple.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, cool. What's how many hours does that take?
Well, Mike, whenever I was telling you that I was going to paint it,
Yeah.
I had it done within a week.
Wow. I knew you crank them out quick. To me, I would be still working on that. But that is so beautiful.
It is a one of a kind.
Despite the fact it's Cowboys. Thank you so much, Greg, for doing that. I kept, she had no idea.
Well,
I told her.
And, I'm the type of person, whenever I finish a painting, I like to post it.
Yeah.
And
he's been holding on to that one for a while, keeping it on
and
for
it's
the
been
wraps.
driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Because
well, now
it's
we can
like,
post it and share it.
Yes. And I was like, But we
yeah,
finally got it done.
We talked about a month ago, but I was like, I can't get her in here until the Christmas break because she's working. Right. So Greg and I have been talking about this for a couple months now. So thank you so much, Greg. I'm so glad you hit me with this idea to surprise her. I was like, that's so cool. I think she'll like it. So
well, I hope you like it.
Merry Christmas from Greg. Yeah, you got a beautiful
Merry
painting.
Christmas to you guys.
Thank you so much. That is so cool.
And thank y'all for everything y'all do.
Thank you. And thank you for the beautiful work. Thank you for sharing everything with us. And thank you for listening. This all started because he listens to the show. And that was pretty much it. And we are so lucky that you treat us with your beautiful works. And you don't have to keep giving me paintings. You're done giving me paintings after this.
I'm one of them type of people. And it is true. I want to do more, and even just for the general public.
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking to my mom about.
Sure.
And, I do. I want to do a lot of things for a lot of people, but you just can't do it. And, this was just one of them deals that happened to come together. And after the
planets align,
and after the first of the year here, we're going to be starting on that Country Music Hall of Fame painting. So I cannot wait to come back on the show and show it whenever it gets done before we get it.
Do you kind of know what it's going to be yet, or is it still percolating?
No, I've already got it.
Okay.
It's not done.
Okay.
It is drawn. I've got it drawn. I just haven't started painting it.
Now, how many times does these change over the like I know you had a vision at the start, but like halfway through it, how many times does that change before the final product is here? On average.
I would say all the time.
I would guess.
I just basically.
I'm guessing you have a vision, and then as it's going, the ideas start. Wait a minute, what if I did this instead of this?
When the paint starts going and I apply it, then that's when it just changes.
Yeah.
But
I wish I had your ability. I do not.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I do want to give a huge shout out, and we'll just say we'll keep it quiet. But hey, a huge, well, I'm going to say voice up instead of other. To the ENMU band. And heck of a job.
Did you watch their performance of the Metallica?
Yeah, I got to do I got to do a little bit of talking.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
let's just say heck of a job.
Nice.
Heck of a job.
Nice. Okay. Now you piqued my curiosity.
But yes, after the first of the year, I would love to come back on, and once we get things finalized with the Country Music Hall of Fame.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear more exciting stuff and what you got going on here. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Y'all too.
Thank you so much for these awesome gifts and your gift of sharing it with us. We're so thankful, and we can't wait to see what's next. So,
me neither.
Good deal. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we're going to pause for news and Cowboys Report, and then we're going to bring Chris Whipperman in. We're going to talk about some Radio Razzle Dazzle, which is Friday night at the Liberty. So it's It's a big artistic hour here, man. This is way more fun than talking about politics.
There you go.
Talk about art and fun stuff. So
yeah.
Good deal.
Now,
Thank you,
your
Greg,
Pecos
so
Valley
much.
News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Local car dealers are speaking out about a new state law they say will hurt their businesses and our communities. The Environmental Improvement Board of the New Mexico Environment Department passed the so-called Advanced Clean Cars and Advanced Clean Trucks rules as part of the new rules already passed last year. After a 3-day public hearing this year, the board passed the new rules on a 3-2 vote of the 5-member commission. The new rules require automakers to deliver an increasing percentage of zero-emission cars and light-duty trucks for sale in New Mexico each year, basically EVs. Starting in 2026, 43% of all cars, 15% of Class 2 and 3 trucks, 20% of Class 4 through 8 trucks, and 15% of Class 7 and 8 trucks must be considered zero-emission. The Daily Press reports local dealers say these mandated percentages are much greater than actual demand for EV vehicles, and consumers will likely just take their business elsewhere across state lines. New Mexico wildlife officials say they're seeing a return of the iconic gray wolf. The National Park Service says the Mexican wolf has traveled back to its original habitat, signaling the success of a program under the Endangered Species Act. In 1973, that law created protections for threatened fish, wildlife, and plants, and gave states like New Mexico the ability to protect animals like the Mexican wolf. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Have you really looked at your smartphone lately? It's a mess. Apps all over the place, and so many you just don't use. Let's clean it up. It only takes a few minutes. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by NetSuite. Want consistently excellent performance? Download NetSuite's KPI checklist free at netsuite.com/Kim. Here are some quick tips to get that smartphone back in shape. If you have an iPhone, check your app usage in your screen time settings. From there, you'll see a snapshot of which apps you spend the most time on. You can do the same on Android. Head into your settings, tap on the Digital Wellbeing and Parental Controls button. Then delete any apps you no longer use. Candy Crush and the intermittent fasting app that you used a week? Yeah, we're talking about you. Next, deep clean those voicemails. They take up a lot of space. If you don't want to delete voicemails from loved ones, simply save them to your Google Drive or another cloud account for safekeeping. How'd you like to win a brand new iPhone 15 valued at $800? Well, you better hurry because there are only 2 days left to enter to win it right now at commando.com/win. If your business is scrambling to close the books on time each month, then you should know these 3 numbers. 37,025-1. To start, 37,000 businesses have already upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. And this year, NetSuite is celebrating their 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less, close books in days, and drive down costs. And finally, that #1, because your business is one of a kind. NetSuite offers customized solutions for all your KPIs in one efficient system. It's one source of truth to manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist, designed to give you consistently excellent performance, absolutely free at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim to get your own KPI checklist. netsuite.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good all the way through the holiday weekend. High pressure in the Four Corners and the southwestern states, and that'll keep us sunny today. Afternoon high in the upper 50s to low 60s. Mid-20s and clear overnight, and then we're looking at upper 50s for the afternoon high on Saturday and Sunday. We should stay sunny. For New Year's Day, sunny and a little bit cooler, right around 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. It'll be Goddard against Roswell in the girls' holiday tournament hosted by both schools this weekend. Not in the championship game, though. It'll be the third-place game. Yesterday, Roswell fell to Lovington 59-50. The Coyotes are now 7-3. Goddard's now 3-8 after losing to Academy 63-38. Meanwhile, on the boys' side, it's the Poe Corn Tournament, and Roswell missed its chance of making it to the championship game, losing to El Dorado 68-59. Roswell is now 7-5 overall. then will take on Kirtland Central. That's the third place game. That starts at 2 o'clock today at the Roswell High Gym. El Dorado plays Clovis in the championship, by the way. Goddard still winless after losing to Los Alamos 71-46. Will play Piedra Vista this morning at 11. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The interest rate on the most common type of U.S. home loan fell for a ninth straight week this week to close out the year at their lowest level since May. That's according to data released Thursday by Freddie Mac. Oil prices fell 3% on Thursday as more shipping companies said they were ready to transit the Red Sea route, easing concerns about supply disruptions. Other retailers are racing to reroute cargo away from the Suez Canal following militant attacks on vessels in the Red Sea. Suppliers for IKEA, Home Depot, and Amazon are trying to grapple with the biggest shipping upheaval since the COVID-19 pandemic threw global supply chains into disarray. Airplane maker Boeing is urging airlines to inspect 737 MAX airplanes for a possible loose bolt. Boeing recommended inspections after an international operator discovered a bolt with a missing nut while performing routine maintenance on a mechanism in the rudder control linkage. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
It's the season for New Year's resolutions. One of the most popular is to get in better shape. Maybe it's time to make the resolution to get your spiritual health in shape. Are you taking the time to pray, to spend time in God's Word, to spend quality time with the church? Maybe you don't know what to say to God. My advice is just start the conversation. Nothing formal is ever needed. He listens to all who reach out to him. Don't know where to start reading the Bible? Start with the story of Jesus in the book of Mark, or read a psalm or two each day. Haven't gone to church in a while because you got hurt there? Or you feel like it's full of hypocrites, or you don't think you'll fit in? Remember this one thought. Churches are not museums that display perfect people. They're hospitals where the wounded, hurt, injured, and broken all find healing. None of us are perfect, but we can gain peace and contentment from the one who is, Jesus our Savior. Take advantage of the new year to start fresh with your spiritual heart health.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:57. News coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Next hour, stay tuned. Around 8:15 or so, we're going to replay our interview we had yesterday with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. Talk a lot about food because that's what I do. But we also talk a little bit about their hours for the weekend here. They're having another holiday weekend here with the New Year's weekend going on. And, of course, they officially are doing their new roof now. So they're in a situation where they really need more donations and things. So supporting the thrift store and becoming a member of the Humane Society, very important stuff there. So it's now that they're getting the roof done, they need the money. That building's pretty old, and it's been a long time since that roof replaced. And they've been putting Band-Aids on it for years now, but they need to fully replace that roof at the Humane Society now. So all that's going down. We talked a little bit about that, but we'll play that interview for you next hour. Don't forget, tonight is Radio Razzle Dazzle at the Liberty. You can still get tickets right now. Go online to thelibertyinc.com. It's going to be a fun night beginning at 6 p.m. with dinner. You can order your dinner. You get a choice of pot roast or chicken a la king, and then you can get your tickets. Like I said, dinner, everything, I think they open the doors, and dinner will start around 6, and then around 7:15, the play will start tonight. The play itself is it's a 40s radio show. So the play takes place in 1940s, and the cast is doing a radio show. But comedy ensues when none of the equipment works and people don't show up. They're supposed to show up, and so they have a cast of half dozen folks, and they're doing 37 different characters, and everything goes crazy and all that. So it's a fun play, and that's going to be tonight, and I believe they're going to be playing it on the radio as well too. But I want to make sure everyone gets out there to Liberty so you can see it, enjoy a great meal there, and make it a date night or make it a family night. It is a family friendly show, but I get it. It's the holidays. You've been spending a lot of time with the kids. Christmas week was all about family. New Year's is kind of a little bit more couple time, a little bit more you do your thing together as a couple. So if you're looking for date night, then tonight's got you covered. Get on out to the Liberty and get your tickets and enjoy a great show and a great meal there at the Liberty. TheLibertyInc.com is your website. While you're there, you can see all the other shows. I know they got the Dorfinator Wrestling coming up here, I believe January 7th, I think. They also got a bunch of other events and things, too. So TheLibertyInc.com's got all of that there, and we love to see you out there tonight. Got my tickets. Looking forward to a fun performance here tonight. Matter of fact, we did talk with the cast on Wednesday, and we replayed it yesterday. So you can go back ksvptv.com and watch the interview if you want to learn a little bit more about the show and dinner tonight. All right, Town Hall News up next. We'll be back.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As Hamas refuses to surrender in order to spare civilians more suffering and death, the horrors of the Gaza war brought on by the October terror attack on Israel multiply.
Israel told residents of central Gaza to head south, but even as the displaced have poured in, the southern town of Rafah has not been spared. A strike Thursday evening destroyed a residential building, killing well over a dozen people, according to the media office of the nearby Al-Kuwaiti hospital. Israel blames the high death toll on Hamas, which it accuses of embedding inside the civilian population. I'm Karen Chamas.
Primary voters in California will see Donald Trump's name on the March 5th ballot. California's Secretary of State has certified the candidates, and Mr. Trump is among them. However, it was a different outcome in the state of Maine.
Colorado's Supreme Court has already banned Mr. Trump from its Republican primary ballot, and now Maine's Secretary of State, who oversees elections, has done the same. However, Mr. Trump can still appeal against this latest decision through the state's courts, and his name will remain on the ballot until the legal avenues have been exhausted. Several other states have rejected the constitutional argument deployed in Maine and Colorado, and the U.S. Supreme Court is almost certainly going to have to intercede in the coming weeks.
The BBC's Gary O'Donoghue. Russia has unleashed a barrage of more than 100 missiles and drones on several Ukrainian cities overnight. Kiev was attacked along with the cities of Lviv and Kharkiv. Congressman Henry Cuellar tells CNN that President Biden has turned a blind eye to the border crisis, and the Texas Democrat fears it will cost Biden the election. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 19 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Have a blender in the kitchen? Well, there's a big blender recall.
Federal officials say BlendJet is recalling about 4.8 million of its portable blenders over laceration and fire hazards. That's after receiving dozens of reports of injuries. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, BlendJet 2 portable blenders can overheat or catch fire, and their blades can break off while they're being used. Regulators are urging consumers to stop using the blenders immediately and contact BlendJet for a free base unit replacement. I'm Shelley Adler.
South Korea's defense minister says a light water reactor at North Korea's main nuclear complex will likely be ready for operation by next summer. The North has long produced weapons-grade plutonium. This light water reactor would be another source of bomb fuels for North Korea. News and analysis, townhall.com. The results of the latest global head count are in.
The world population grew by 75 million people over the past year, and on New Year's Day it will stand at more than 8 billion people. That's according to figures released by the U.S. Census Bureau. The worldwide growth rate in the past year was just under 1%. At the start of 2024, 4.3 births and 2 deaths are expected worldwide every second. The growth rate for the United States in the past year was 0.53%, about half the worldwide figure. The U.S. added 1.7 million people and will have a population on New Year's Day of 335.8 million people. I'm Norman Hall.
Hawaii's governor and mayor welcoming visitors back to the west side of Maui, months after August wildfires killed at least 100 people, destroyed more than 2,000 buildings. They want the economic boost that tourism brings, especially heading into the end-of-the-year holiday period. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
That's the last deuce of the year.
It is the final deuce of 2023. Absolutely. Happy end of the year, everybody. Welcome to it. We got, hope your Friday's going well. Big thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's. Even though it is the final Friday of 2023, they're still going strong and providing us with delicious breakfast treats. Big thank you to them. Of course, always invite you to stop by any McDonald's near you. They've got you covered. Don't forget to download that McDonald's app to your smartphones so you can start earning rewards towards free food on your very first order on that app. You can have your food delivered to you. You can go pick it up through drive-thru. You can even pick it up and enjoy it in the restaurant as well. Whatever works for you, that app will work with you. So take advantage of it. It's really, and you get free food. You get your first order, start getting reward points. After like 1 or 2 orders, you got a free sandwich waiting for you. Pretty nice. So use it today. It's your friend.
Now I have a suggestion.
All right.
For McDonald's. And stop with, or sorry, no more whatever breakfast pastries that you're doing.
Okay.
Right? Donuts. Compete with Dunkin'.
Oh, you're gonna say go get in the donut game.
Get in the donut market. Enter the market.
I could see that, but they'd have to revamp McDonald's because donuts.
Well, because they already make like a bunch of pastries that nobody gets, anyways.
Well, somebody gets them.
Like the, I don't even remember what they're called anymore. Like the apple fritters. And
and I think they swap and move them around, but I think the donuts, like good donuts, you gotta they take up a lot of room in a kitchen to make.
Yeah,
like to make them. Like I guess if you get them frozen, but if you're gonna compete with like Dunkin', you gotta go fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
I guess they have a whole deal.
Yeah, it takes up some room to do it. I didn't bake donuts, but when I was like 18, right before I joined the military, matter of factly, I worked in a bagel bakery. And I'm literally butcher, baker, candlestick maker. That's one job. I've made candles, but I haven't had a job making candles. I've had a job cutting meats. I've had a job baking bagels. But
okay,
yeah, and it takes a lot of it like the huge mixers, the stuff, the ovens it takes to cook them in.
Roswell Donuts has you can kind of see their process of how they make all their donuts.
Yeah, and it takes some room. You can't just decide to crank donuts out one day. So I could see why they don't.
It does.
Because
I feel like it would be worth it though. I feel like they would make a.
Yeah, I think they'd almost have to rebuild a McDonald's to incorporate it because they'd need their own whole donut making section.
Yeah, they'd make enough money off of McDonald's donuts to warrant it.
But there's so many McDonald's that it would you know what I mean? You got several right here in this town, and then every other town like this has the same thing, So that's a lot of overhauling and revamping McDonald's, but for donuts. But you never know.
You even have the donut that doesn't have the hole in it.
I just want to bring the bagel back.
That
bagel
too.
Sandwich.
That as well.
It was funny. I was
almost the same concept, but
and I remember I was flipping through social media about a week ago, and we always have that bagel debate about bring back the steak bagel sandwiches, and someone was talking about McDonald's breakfast, and
you can deep fry your bagels and turn them into donuts.
Oh, that would be gross. It's missing the sweet factor, but I was surprised. A lot of people on the thread were like, "Bring back the steak bagels." I miss the steak bagels. Like, thank God. I'm not. I felt like, I'm just yelling into the wind. But there was a whole community of people that were agreeing with me about the steak bagel. So it made me feel like I belonged to something. Like, see, I'm not weird. I like the steak bagel.
See, I never had it. So
it was my favorite breakfast sandwich. I loved that thing. The egg and the cheese and they used
unfortunately,
like steak-um steak, which was good with the egg and the cheese on the bagel. Just to me, it worked. I mean, the bacon one was good and the sausage one was good, but it wasn't as good as the steak. What I really do love, and this is a little older school, is they used to have a steak biscuit at McDonald's, and it was 99 cents, and it was basically like a chicken fried steak. It was a patty about the size of the biscuit, but it was breaded like a chicken fried. And it was only served at breakfast for 99 cents, the steak biscuit. And it was that fried pieces, the steak patty or whatever you call that, sitting on a biscuit. And it was 99 cents, and I used to get them all the time.
I don't believe you.
I had them. When kids don't do this at home, but in high school, we used to sneak out for lunch.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to. We'd leave campus. And so I only had like 25 minutes to leave school, go to McDonald's. And here was the other thing. My lunch shift was like 10 something in the morning. So when I got to McDonald's, they were still offering breakfast. It wasn't lunch yet.
Yeah.
So I would get the steak biscuits.
It was, yeah.
And that's what I get. It was because I get a steak biscuit, a hash brown, a drink, and it was like $3. It was 99 cents, 69 cents, and whatever the soda drink was, 99 cents or something. But
yeah.
But yeah, that was my go-to every time. Like but it was, I always had that 20-minute window, and then I had a car that wouldn't start all the time because it was high school, and you just beat up cars. Either had rich parents that gave you like Camaros or Corvettes, or you had a beater that well, if you kick it right here, it'll start right up. But so I had that, not the former. But
there's a whole plethora of food that they haven't done in a while.
Yeah,
that they haven't brought back in like decades.
McDLT, that's another one people always talk about. But
yeah.
the steak biscuit was a good one.
Or just like
older
go back.
Folks remember that.
You go back to like 2011 or something. There's the chicken club sandwich.
Yeah,
just
when you got
grilled chicken on Swiss cheese. That's all I want.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that too.
Or a wrap, that's 2016.
I do like when they did the wraps and things, and I think they're going to bring them back. I think every once in a while they kind of bring out a wrap just to say, not quite McRib worthy, but they're like, let's do a wrap. And I like their wraps. Every time they've done a wrap, I've liked it because they're usually big. As far as like a lot of times you get a wrap and they're tiny and you got to eat like 3 of them, but theirs was like one sandwich size. I liked that. So. That was my happy part.
I'm glad this chaotic year is over.
Yeah. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. I just saw it's 8:14. Probably need to get this interview going. We're going to do the weather and all that here in just a bit. And then Crystal Noble joined us yesterday from the Humane Society to talk a little bit about what they've got going on. So we're going to play that interview in just a bit. But before we do that, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good all the way through the holiday weekend. High pressure in the Four Corners and the southwestern states, and that'll keep us sunny today. Afternoon high in the upper 50s to low 60s. Mid-20s and clear overnight, and then we're looking at upper 50s for the afternoon high on Saturday and Sunday. We should stay sunny. For New Year's Day, sunny and a little bit cooler, right around 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 27 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 75%. Winds currently calm at the moment. Sunny, 58 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 24 degrees. Winds out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. For your weekend on Saturday, mostly sunny. They say we'll hit 60 tomorrow, like that. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 29 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. For New Year's Eve Sunday, sunny, 58 for a high, north winds 5 to 10. New Year's Eve evening, when you go out to ring in the new year, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 29 degrees. New Year's Day, Monday, mostly sunny, 51, and looks like we'll be lingering in the low 50s for a good hunk of next week. It is 8:15. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society on the other side of the break. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
They're watching you. They see your social media posts. They follow your family, your friends, and your interests online because they're planning on taking your money. All of it. They're con artists. They'll use your social information to build your trust and lure you into once-in-a-lifetime investments with promises of high guaranteed returns. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Roswell Nissan's deal days are here, and that means the most wonderful deal of the year. Rates as low as 0% for 60 months for qualified buyers, 10 grand off new Armadas, 13 grand off new Titans, and top dollar for your trade. And with the largest selections of new and pre-owned inventory in the state, Roswell Nissan has what you need priced to move, with payments as low as just $175 a month on quality pre-owned vehicles and a team of experts ready to make it the most wonderful deal of the year. Hurry to Roswell Nissan now before the deal is gone. Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Taking the first steps to getting mental health care can be difficult, but you aren't alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our compassionate team of experts specialize in behavioral and mental health services for teenagers and adults. If you or someone you love needs help, don't wait. We're committed to understanding your unique needs and creating a treatment plan that's right for you. Request an appointment at our Artesia or Carlsbad offices by visiting artesiageneral.com/you matter.
Roswell High, along with Farmers Country Market, Dion's Pizza, Salads and Subs, McDonald's, Cattle Baron, Wakefield Oil Express, Dunkin' Donuts, Texas Roadhouse, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM are proud to present the November Teacher of the Month, Deborah Munoz. She teaches New Mexico history and world history and has been teaching for 15 years. 13 of those years at Roswell High. She's a proud mother of 6 kids and grandmother of 5 beautiful grandchildren. Her hope is for students to learn, be kind, do their best, and grow. Nominated by Brian Mays, Gabriella Clements, and Layla Garza, we salute Deborah Munoz, November's Teacher of the Month.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. Sorry, I had a belch there. And joining us in studio. Hey, the body doesn't understand sometimes that I'm on air and I can't do those things. It just tells me anyway. What are you going to do? So, but joining us in studio this morning, Crystal Noble back from the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
We were talking about food and appliances. And
we are. And how some older products are better to keep versus some of the newer ones.
Yeah. Well, and especially when it comes to the world of tools or appliances. You know what I mean? It's just, they were made better 20, 30 years ago, and they were made to last, not made to work for 2 years and break and buy a new one.
And then on some of the things you buy, you can actually buy replacement parts if it breaks.
Yeah.
As to where, like, one of the newer ones, if it breaks, you have to buy a whole new one.
Yeah. Like, there's a whole career industry that is pretty much out of a job now. The TV repairman. Remember that guy?
Uh-huh.
That guy had a job. Nowadays.
And the vacuum repairman?
When's the last time you repaired either one of those items? A vacuum or a television? Never. Because they're not built that way anymore.
Nope.
They're built to be disposable. So, computers are the same way. They really, computers, especially with proprietized stuff. That's the computer world's problem, is proprietized. Everyone's like, well, my thing does the same thing, but it's proprietized this way. And so that's why Apple and Android, no one can get along with nobody. But anyway.
That's like split pea soup and broccoli chowder fighting at the end of the soup line.
Exactly. Yeah, they can't get along here. So, but yeah, in appliances and stuff, usually grandma's mixer from the 1960s is going to work way better than a brand new one that you just bought.
It's funny because me and my cousin were talking over the Christmas holiday. My cousin still has our grandma's hand mixer that actually had a stand that you would just set it on, and then you could set the bowl in front of it and it would mix. The only problem with that is there's nothing to lock the bowl into, so you have to hold the bowl. Oh, because if you set it and then walk away,
otherwise that bowl's going to go shooting across the room.
Yeah.
Which could be fun if you just, like, I'm sure if your husband one day decided to mix things, I think you would just stop and let him watch just to see what happened.
I think his mom had a similar one, so
he might be a little wise.
He might be a little wise.
Okay. Yeah.
I laughed because
I don't think we have it anymore.
I got, the KitchenAid for Christmas. Well, okay, I got it before Christmas, but it was essentially for Christmas. And so I was making pumpkin pies for Christmas dinner. And so I had set it, put everything in it, and I turned it on. Well, the lever on the side, okay, when you're standing in front of it, you can't see the numbers.
Right.
So I didn't remember how many clicks was 3 clicks. I had pumpkin pie. Pew, and I was like, whoop. And so I walked around the corner. He goes, "What's wrong?" I was all, should have put my shield on.
Yeah, my mixer turned into a pumpkin shooter.
Yeah. I'm all looking up. I'm like, "Do I have any on the roof?" Okay, no.
Went from a pumpkin mixer to a pumpkin chucker.
Yeah.
I have an Instapot, but I'm too intimidated to use it, so it's just sitting in the cabinet. It's been sitting there for several years. Isn't that embarrassing?
You're right. We've never used that thing. I never even thought of that.
Exactly.
What are we going to do with that?
I'm
I guess
too
turn it back on.
intimidated to use it.
Yeah. Huh. We're going to fix that. Maybe make some soup in it.
You're going to make your split pea soup in it.
Well, we have a crock pot, so we always grab that. You know what I mean? We just...
Yeah.
See,
I think it's just we
prefer
use other
crock
things.
pots and pressure cookers over Instapots.
Yeah.
Well, an Instapot is like a pressure cooker.
I know.
And it's...
But like
yeah.
you said, it doesn't do it as well as something that's designed to
Right.
just be a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
You know?
I just... no.
It's
I'm
no like we
old-fashioned.
have that toaster oven, air fryer, baker, and all that, which is convenient. But to be honest, as an air fryer, it's not the best as an air. You know what I mean? Like if you want to make toast or heat up something, one of those Totino's pizzas in there pretty quick, no problem. But if you want to air fry it, it kind of turns the whole house into a weird thing, and it smells like it's about to catch on fire. Yeah.
And
So we got an air fryer from the thrift store that was brand new, a Ninja basket air fryer.
Okay.
I had never cooked in one, so I was like, we're going to try chilerianos in it.
Not so good.
There was no taste, no crisp, no crunch. I pulled them out, and the egg batter just went off the chileriano, and I was like,
Guess you need to actually fry those.
But I used a chileriano air fryer recipe because you do the egg batter differently.
Gotcha. And it worked out that way, or no?
No,
Huh?
it was horribly disgusting. And it stunk, and it smelled like burnt electrical cooking, and so that's the
how
last time it was used, and I probably should get rid of it because
Yeah.
it's taking up a spot for, another kitchen gadget.
As I say, we
See,
got
I can
Instapot
come
here.
home after work, and I can tell if Mike's used the toaster oven because it stinks when I open the door. I'm like, ugh.
I eat lunch. What do you want to do? I come home for lunch and I eat lunch sometimes.
We've had that for several years, and it's time to get rid of it.
Well,
It's
the thrift store would probably enjoy it.
No, I
Or
don't even know
somebody.
if it's. I was about to say, I don't know that thing.
No, it's dirty.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Instapot. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that thing. We probably just get. Now we go there and buy a new one, but
Yeah.
but
Y'all-
I don't know
y'all
if I
wouldn't
donate
want
it.
this.
It's not worth donating.
No, it's...
You'd be
it's-
like, who donated this thing? It's going right to the landfill.
No,
Mike, I saw you on camera. I
Yeah,
got
if
you.
a toaster oven shows up all of a sudden, they're gonna blame me.
Yeah. I'm going to be rewind video. I know he drives the Jeep.
Well, it does work because I still use it to this
It
day.
works,
but
but
yeah,
it's had its day. It's time
Yeah.
to retire that thing.
it had a good couple year run.
So my
Okay.
husband is having his input, and he says he prefers food. He doesn't care what kitchen gadgets they are. He just wants food.
He wants real food. He doesn't care how it got heated or made. I hear you. I'm the same way.
But I am going to say this once and one time only. I really like my KitchenAid. Like,
cool.
They're heavy,
Sure.
but
Again, you get what you pay for. I
you
think,
do.
with some of these
And
things.
in the beginning you have like the new motor smell, but obviously you have to use it to get rid of that smell.
Gotta break it in.
Yeah.
Just like anything else.
Well,
gotta break
I don't
it in.
know. I think that thing's made like tin pies and I don't know what else, but
Good
I've
for
used it quite a
you.
bit.
Nice.
Good for you.
Good for you.
See, that's the thing is,
Well, that's just it too. There's a difference, Kim.
I-
She likes cooking and baking. You not so much.
yeah.
So
it
that's,
would get used, but not.
but you don't
near
like
as
doing
much.
those things. So
Well,
She likes
I
the
bought
theory
the
of doing it.
bigger one
yeah.
because like when I do that stuff, I do big bunches of it.
Yeah.
So it's easier. But I think if you just want it for like mixing occasionally, like you could get away with one of the smaller ones because they have the 3-quart one.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been having my eye on that. And we got to be careful with our appliances because we don't have a lot of room.
Yeah, I
in
was
our
telling her
place.
that earlier. Well,
Yeah.
sounds like we can get rid of an Instapot, a Flavor Wave.
We don't have a. We didn't bring the flavor.
I'm pretty
away.
sure it's in that closet in there.
She's
pretty
going to go
sure-
home and look, and
I'm
she's
pretty
going to be
sure
like,
it's sitting up top there. You don't see it because you're short. I think it's on the top shelf.
and there goes your short
So
joke.
there you go. It could very well be.
I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm saying it because you may just not notice it up there.
You got a point.
It's above eye level.
Yeah,
I cannot
it's at
decipher
my
if it's
eye
there or
level.
not.
It's not at your eye level. It's over your head.
It's not like she gets a ladder and climbs up and looks, what do I got up here today?
Yeah.
Right.
Although that step stool's right next to that closet, so that her official, when I can't get things, I have to get a stool to get it. That's where that's located.
So I have a special spatula, and then if it's big stuff, I have a step stool, a 3-step.
She'll grab the tongs out of the
Use it as a reach
out of the
thing.
you know, like your tongs you flip your chicken with. Yeah, she'll go grab that out of it and go grab a glass or a can if she can't reach it. Yeah. And I'm literally sitting right there. I was like, Kim, I'm right here.
I'm independent.
I understand that, but I'm 3 feet away. Let me help you.
If I can do it, I'm doing it.
I get that.
So John laughs because, you know, if there's something tall and I can't reach it, I'll do the jump with the spatula and like knock it and catch it.
Yeah.
And he's like, all you have to do is ask. And I'm like, no.
Well, and here's the thing you don't understand. I'm short too. I'm 5'8".
So
when people ask me to get stuff off top shelf, I'm like, yeah, I'm useful. You know, because normally I'm not that guy.
Do you know
5'8".
what's even sadder is going to Walmart and trying to reach something on the top shelf and somebody who's like an inch taller than you walks by and says, oh, let me grab that for you.
Like,
I'm all standing on the bottom shelf like trying to grab it.
But
I'm like.
But I'm that guy in Walmart that will not ask. I'm like, oh, he's up top. I need it. I will climb shelves.
That's
and I will
me.
get. Yeah, that's
and
me
then
too.
somebody walks by because I'm like that far from it, like reaching my.
Yeah, it's like
final
I didn't need
product.
your help now. I needed it 2 minutes ago when I.
Well, this lady, I was trying to get like Italian dressing packets or something, and they had them on the very top shelf, and I was like, God dang it! So I'm all climbing up the shelves, and I'm all.
Trying to knock one down.
I actually had a spatula in the basket. And so I was getting the spatula, trying to get it, and she goes, hold on, let me help you. And she just reaches up and hands it to me, and I was like, wow, I feel like a child. And she's like, here you go. And I was like, thank you.
Well, see, that's when you look at those people like, hey, if you need anything from down here, let me know. I got
right,
you.
right.
I will remember that next time.
Yeah, just put his stuff at the very bottom.
I'll
Hey,
get
if
the
you need
bottom
anything from
shelf.
down here, let me get it for you.
Yeah, I'll get the bottom shelf.
I will so say that next time I have that happen.
That is good. But
we should talk dogs, I'm thinking.
Normally, you know, after Christmas, you know, everybody gets all their new gadgets, so they start going through their old stuff and getting rid of it. The thrift store is accepting donations. They will be, what's today? Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
So we are normal hours today and tomorrow,
Mhm.
and then on Saturday we will be closing at 12.
Gotcha. So
And then back open. They'll reopen on Wednesday the 3rd, and then when we close at noon on Saturday, we will reopen at 10 a.m. on Tuesday the 2nd.
Okay, so if you want to do some shopping Saturday, get up early because they'll be closing at noon.
Yes.
They won't be open their normal Saturday hours because of the New Year's holiday here. And the thrift store is normally not open Sunday or Monday anyway, or
Right.
Tuesday for that matter. So when you come back Wednesday, it'll be new stuff day next week. And so with the extra time, there might be extra new stuff there. So
Right.
Yeah, so maybe make sure you're part of the 10 o'clock club on Wednesday morning when they're at the door.
Faithful. They're very faithful. I
hope
do
they
know.
use that. Embrace that as a name. Tell them if they want a name.
Right, you like the Breakfast Club? Yeah, the 10 o'clock
The 10
Club.
o'clock club. And I think they can own that and embrace it.
I think so. They did get some really nice recliners donated.
Okay.
So if anybody's didn't get the recliner they wanted for Christmas, come down, take a look.
Okay.
They got some other little odd and end furnitures. They're pulling some stuff out of the storage that they put up so that way they can have Christmas items out.
Okay.
They're going to be pulling some of that stuff out too. A ton. They still have a ton of clothing.
Okay.
Shoes, like winter shoes, boots, the Uggs.
Don't
all
buy
of
them
that.
new.
Don't.
Oh, especially Uggs, man.
And you
I
know
know
what's funny?
I
It's
bought a
like-
pair of Uggs or two, and they are very expensive. Now.
I'm not an Ugg girl.
She likes Uggs.
I don't like my feet to get hot and sweaty.
To be
but my
honest,
feet are always cold. But the second I stick them in Uggs, they just like sweat instantly.
to
I'm
be
like,
honest,
I need airflow.
unless you live like up north or in Ruidoso, you have no business needing Uggs in New Mexico.
Our daughter lives in El Paso and she wears Uggs in the summer.
I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying.
I'm like, why? What's
we
wrong
don't
with
get
you?
that cold where you need the Uggs.
But-
we ain't the Arctic.
They had
But I get it. It's a fashion thing.
probably like 15 or 20 pair donated brand new in the box.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where they came from, but they still had tags on them and everything.
Okay.
So
Well, good deal. They probably said, I love Uggs. And then he said, I moved to New Mexico. It's too
It's-
hot for these
yeah.
Uggs.
somebody with the Ugg fetish that decided that they were coming down to warmer climes. They're like, whoa.
I need to change over to Crocs.
So president of the Humane Society loves Crocs.
Yeah, it is a step down from Uggs, by the way. I'm just making a joke. Don't get all mad.
So I saw a meme that says I might have done a lot of things wrong in my life, but I've never bought a pair of Crocs. And I was like, oh my God, that is so me, because I'm anti-Croc. I'm like, no.
My brother almost got me to buy a pair of Crocs because he was wearing them and he was talking about how great they are. And I'm like, Chris, really? And I got to looking and I was looking at them like, nah, I'm not wearing these.
No, but they do have the ones that are like completely enclosed that don't have the holes in them.
They're less Croc looking.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, no.
Wow, and people swear by them that wear them. They do, and I'm
some
like,
foot doctors have actually been prescribing Crocs for plantar fasciitis.
Really?
One of my employees has a prescription for Crocs.
Interesting.
I was like,
There's also that shoe or thing that I keep seeing commercials for that Alex Smith, the quarterback, is doing. There's like other couple athletes, but they're usually athletes that had like Alex Smith had that bad knee injury.
Oh.
And so he talks about these shoes and his recovery and how great they are. But they're kind of, I think, the same as kind of like Crocs, but probably 10 times more pricey and more.
Well, yeah, if a football player's advertising it, you know it's expensive.
You're not going to find those at Payless. They're going to be, in your fancy shoe stores.
Well, when you find a Payless, let me know where it's at, because I want to go shop.
Well, I dated myself a little bit.
I miss Payless. I loved that place. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Now we have Shoe Depot.
Yeah. And then we had, back in our day, we had Kenny's. And this was back in Maryland. It was a chain shoe store, but it was like Payless, or it was called Kenny's. And they sold, you could get Nikes, but not like.
So it was like factory to you Nikes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Like, really, they were like, yeah, we got one pair of Nikes. Come see our Pumas. We got lots of Pumas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diodora. I was like, what? Unless you're a soccer nerd, you have no idea what Diodora is.
Adidas.
Yeah.
Reebok.
Although I'm an Adidas guy. I love Adidas. I wear Adidas. Matter of fact, my beat up shoes I'm wearing right now. Adidas.
Well, I'm a Nike girl.
I'm a New Balance.
Yes. And to be honest.
But I do like Pumas. Like, some of the tennis shoes from Pumas are very, very comfortable.
Oh, they were very popular.
It just depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if I'm walking on asphalt and concrete, I ain't doing Pumas. If I'm running around the office and outside with the dogs, I'm in Nikes.
You're in the Nikes. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I need to get new shoes. These are beat up. Like, there's no soles.
My husband has become a Skechers man.
I have a few. See, I have a few pair of Skechers. I got some Nikes. I got a little bit of hodgepodge. And because I don't throw shoes away either. That's part of my problem.
Yeah, neither does he, until I come along and I'm like, no, that's got to go. That's got to go.
Like,
that's
literally,
got to go.
I've got my combat boots in my closet.
So does he.
From 30 years ago.
So does he.
Or 20 years ago, whatever long it was.
He'll never get rid of them.
No, they're good boots. Those boots will
They're
will
doing
outlast.
you no good if
I
you don't
wear them once or twice a year when the weather's bad. That's when I wear them. But they're.
Do you look? He's giving the reason for you not to throw them away.
Those boots. I mean, you could make an argument for many other shoes in my closet. I would even concede to that, but not those boots. Those boots will. I will probably be buried in them because they're just that good of boots. They're good.
And this
boots.
is why I wouldn't dare throw them out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be allowed to go home.
Oh yeah,
No.
I would be. Put it this way, you would lose all of your purses had those boots disappeared. Your purse collection, bye now.
When John gets a new pair of tennis shoes, his old shoes go to yard shoes, and then the yard shoes go to the trash.
Yeah,
So
I need to.
we
I
recycle
really need,
out, but
like I have 3 or 4 pairs, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll wear them to do this, and then I never do. I just need to.
He needs to go.
I need to weed through it, and I need to whittle it down to about 3 or 4 solid pairs of shoes that I wear on a regular. But those boots will always stay. I've got.
He looks at me
He's
like,
like,
always
I'm reminding you.
Yeah, do not touch
I'm
them
not
combat.
touching
Those
them. I
boots,
haven't yet.
they're
I'm not
steel
going
toe
to.
and they're heavy, but they're indestructible. They're military. I literally wore them and put them through the roughest stuff in the military, and they came out smelling like a rose. Those boots are amazing boots. I love those boots. I will wear those boots
Once or twice a year until he dies.
Absolutely. Good boots. You'll not see them in the thrift store because I will never donate those boots to the thrift store. Other things, yes. Matter of fact, we might have some recliners for you here in a month or 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're in the market for new.
Yeah, to replace some recliners. We may And
we got to get rid of our.
They might need a little cleaning because I've had a lot of butt time in it. But
okay.
But on the other side, they're power recliners.
Oh, nice.
Got a remote.
They got a battery pack. You charge it up.
Kim is too short for her legs to actually run that thing, so we get the battery powered ones. And since she has one, I gotta have one because why am I over here doing this while she's? So we both.
It's so funny that I understand that lingo.
Right, you know exactly what I'm talking
100%.
about.
100%.
And then when the battery gets low, it beeps at you.
Yeah.
So you just plug it in.
Yeah, and you plug it in for about a day. It takes about 12. But like for Kim, she because she reclines more than I do, she has to probably charge it once
a month.
Once a month, maybe. So. Me, I go about 3-4 months before I have to charge it, and it still works. You just got to plug it in somewhere, and we have a cord that because our chairs aren't near an outlet per se. That's why we had the remote battery packs for them.
Oh, got it.
And so you can put them anywhere in the house. But when you do need to charge it, we've got like a 12, 15 foot cord that we stretch across the house to plug them in.
And they're wall huggers too.
Yeah, they can be wall. Yeah,
so you can put them next to a wall when you recline. It's made to.
So it won't punch into the wall.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of them will go back.
It goes forward instead of back.
This one kind of goes. So they're called wall huggers.
So it doesn't go back too far.
So you can have them by a wall.
But you lay flat, but it instead of it pushing back, it pushes forward. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure whenever you find your new set, Camille would be more than happy to go pick those up for you guys.
Just saying that someone will get a good deal on those when you guys will charge dirt cheap, but they're probably we got them from Glenn's. They're probably we pay about $600-700 a piece for those or something like that. It was quite a bit of money. They're nice chairs.
Furniture's not cheap.
Yeah.
No.
By any means. If you get good quality furniture, they're not cheap.
Yeah. We had it custom. We picked
up
our
that's right.
material.
We picked that fabric and everything. That's right. It took a little longer to get it because we custom fixed so. But yeah, we've had them for almost 10 years?
Around there because we moved in a condo 7.
Yeah, and those came with us. That was one of the few pieces of furniture that came with us.
So I would say maybe about 9 years.
Yeah, it's about 9-10 years.
It's about time.
And they still work great. They just they got my butt groove in it, and they got her butt groove in it. So other than that,
somebody else's butt needs to take place.
Yeah, they just need to be regrooved.
It's like Sheldon's spot in Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we're gonna go to Sheldon's spot here.
That's right, and to regroove. But yes, that might be something on the thrift store.
Well, like I said, whenever you guys get your new ones or whatever, and you need those picked up, call Camille. Will be more than happy to go out.
And that's the thing. If you guys have donations, call ahead. Yes. Don't just drop it off. Call ahead. Let Camille get a chance to tell you, yeah, bring it right now, or we'll come get it right now, or hey, I would love that, but our storage is a little full right now. Can you hold it for a couple weeks or a month or so till we move some inventory, and then we can bring it back in or bring it in.
She'll tell you, what does and doesn't sell, and if you have questions about, is this donatable or whatever, she will be more than happy to tell you what she can and can't sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if you do have the old tube TVs or the big old tube monitors,
nobody wants those.
Nobody wants those. They don't sell, and we have to pay a special price to dispose of those.
Yeah, because even
of
the e-waste people. Yeah, they like when you go, when they have the e-waste events, they tell you we can't accept those tube TVs because they really can't recycle them. They can't.
Right.
They are very. I think they can. Parts of them, but
they have to dismantle them.
Yeah, the juice is not worth the squeeze for them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when you hear these e-waste events, there's a company they're giving this to, and at the end of the day, they're a for-profit company, and so they make money recycling and doing this stuff, and usually the cities or whoever that support it get, some kind of kickbacks or help outs.
Right.
But even those tube TVs, or usually same thing with appliances. That's why they usually don't take stoves and refrigerators, because some of the components in there is not the stuff they can recycle, and it actually costs them a lot of money to dispose of it properly. So that's why they don't take that stuff. But it's no different with the thrift store. They, refrigerator stuff they'll take, but tube TVs, any brick TVs out there, anything that isn't a flat panel LCD, plasma, or whatever the latest in technology is, that's what they want. They don't. If your TV, even if it's a 40-inch projector TV that was the Cadillac of TVs 20 years ago.
Flat screens are being considered like old school now, and they're going to just the drop projectors from the wall and just projecting on your wall across the room.
Yeah, projection TVs way different than it used to be. Like back in the day, it was kind of like watching film strips,
Yeah.
but with a little better. But
so now like when you're looking at TVs, they're actually selling the projection TV box.
it's like going to a movie, like at a movie theater.
And it just, you have to have an open wall, and it's the entire wall.
Well, and that's just it. You can make it as big as you want. That's where you're not spending thousands of dollars on a 100-inch screen. You don't need it.
I just want to watch football where
Just have
like
the
I'm
projector,
walking across the wall and they're shorter than me.
But then but the only problem is you got to worry about the real down in fronts, because if you got a tall guy with melon head that stands in front of the projector,
Right. There's only one tall person that comes to our house, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be standing in front of the projector because he likes to watch football too.
good. So he's like, down in front, bud.
Yep.
You make a better door than you do a window. And that was what Mom always told me, to get out of the way of the TV.
Yeah.
That was like when I'm in the way of the TV or something, Mom she goes, you make a better door than you do a window. That was her code for get the hell out of the way. That's when she's in a good mood. Other times, just get the hell out of the way. But anyway, by the way, I know we're jumping all over the place today, but it's Christmas. We don't do.
And it's New Year's, so
That's
mostly everybody's getting old stuff sorted out from the new stuff they got in, and
but set that stuff aside. And,
if
and
you
call the Humane Society and say, hey, I've got some.
If it's just like a small load or whatever, and you have like a little bit of this or that, that's not normally a big problem. But if you have a full trailer load or large furniture items, do please call ahead.
Yeah.
Because that does help them arrange and make room to where it's not a safety hazard.
Sure.
Because remember, our thrift store is not very, very big. So when we have a lot of clutter in there, it becomes a safety hazard, and we have to make sure that it's wheelchair accessible.
Well, and that's
for
just it. Yeah, your customers come through.
people
and,
who have
retirees
handicap
and things.
issues,
Yeah.
and we want to make sure that it's safe for them to walk through and not get hurt.
It's got to look like a store, not like someone's basement. That's
or
kind of you know what I mean. That's,
or one of the garages from Antique.
Antique Roadshow.
Yeah, Antique Roadshow. Yeah.
Pickers.
American Pickers. That's what it is. Pickers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta climb over this box. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they don't want to look like that. But but please call ahead and yes, those donate, because everything you donate, every dime that when they turn around and sell that stuff goes back to pay for vet bills.
And we
cleaning,
did sign for us to get a new roof. So
good. So
we're
that's
definitely
going to
need donations. Final cost is over $100,000.
And that's so. And to be honest, if yes, we want you to buy as many refrigerators and clothes as possible. But if you'd like to just make donations for that roof, that would be an amazing thing.
That really would. And if you need a tax receipt and you want to be able to claim it on taxes, we can give you a tax receipt to help you with donations.
And I know everyone's trying to get those in real quick before the end of the year here for their tax write-offs. And please. Consider the Humane Society as one of those recipients.
Like I said, the cost is over $100,000. So, but we have to have the roof because it's starting to bow, and we can't have one of the air conditioner
for a while.
We have and making repairs and patches here and there, but the building was built in the early 70s, mid 80s.
Yeah.
And so it is way overdue. It has lasted a good amount of time, but it is time
and that's a flat roof too, isn't it?
It's got a mild pitch.
Does it?
Like, literally, you don't know it's pitched until you're like 25 feet out across
it's probably
the street.
pitched just enough to keep the water from standing on the roof.
It is. That's basically all it is just enough pitch to make the water run down and go into the gutters.
Yeah. But as a flat roof owner myself, I know that there is a little bit more maintenance involved in flat roof structures and things. And so, you can put, like you guys have been putting the Band-Aids on it for as long as you can, but now we're at the point where we need to replace it.
So please, if you have, I don't care if it's 1 penny or 50 pennies or whatever you would have available to help us, we would greatly appreciate it. And if you do need stuff for tax receipts, or if you want to mail something in, put a note. Hey, this is for the roof. Can you please mail me back a tax receipt?
Absolutely.
And we will definitely mail you back a tax receipt, so that way you can file it for your taxes.
Absolutely. If you want another fun way, become a member of the Humane Society.
Yes.
That way you can.
2024 memberships are good to go. I'll be sending out the newsletter probably in a few weeks.
Okay.
We need to get past the Christmas and New Year's holiday before I can even focus on 2024.
Sure.
What comes with the membership?
So when you become a membership, you get a newsletter quarterly, And then I believe they're going to start doing this upcoming year where you get a discount when you shop at the thrift store. So we have like little membership cards that says, I'm a member of the Roswell Humane Society. And then when you present that card, I think they're going to do like 20% off.
Oh, nice. Already on top of the hugely discounted prices for
Right.
the items you're buying. So, yeah.
And then with the membership, when we have our big meeting, like where you vote and help us make decisions,
you get to say
we
in it.
announce when the meetings are going to be and where it's going to be at. And you're invited to come down and give us input.
Yeah. And to be honest, you're always looking for volunteers to serve in that capacity. Because,
We are.
You have your staff and you have some volunteers that come in, but, there's always a ton of work going on and becoming a member and getting more involved, serving in that way. Maybe becoming a volunteer too. That's another, come on the board and say, hey, yeah, I tell all these suggestions at the meeting. Well, then you come and be a part of that solution also to help make those things better and all that. And that's a great way to get involved. But your membership fees, that's money that goes back to the Humane Society. And again, goes back to that roof and taking care of those animals.
Because of Tascosa and how much they support us, when we do our newsletter, I email it over to Danny. They print it out for us free of cost.
Do they still do? Because I know, didn't they used to offer, like, if you need copies and things?
They do. If you need copies,
you bring, like, food pantry or dog food or something like that, they give it to you for free?
They normally do, like, a monetary donation.
Okay.
So, like, if you go in and, like, if you're getting copies made, they'll tell you just leave a donation for the Humane Society.
Okay.
And then they tell me, hey, we have this here for you, or Daniel or Tracy will bring it by.
Okay.
But if you need copies made, they're free as long as you make a donation to us.
Okay.
And then we're going to start back the first Fridays. I think Danny was telling me in February, we're going to do like every other month. We're going to do themed months like Valentine's Day, Easter, 4th of July. So because they've already got books donated for kids for these events.
Good.
But Tascosa is very wonderful. They donate the printed newsletters for us.
Yeah,
if we could get the postal service to donate postage, that would be great. But
yeah, there's a
it's not gonna
couple
happen.
great businesses like that in town that really go above and
Didn't they
beyond.
finally win the show off on the front window?
Oh, did they? I hadn't heard who won. I missed that.
I thought they were going to announce it.
Maybe they did. I just completely missed it. I just Main Street.
Roswell. Hold
Was
on,
Roswell Seed in the running?
Roswell Seed did not do it because they're not close enough to downtown Main Street.
Yeah, they're about block. Well, they still are. They're just a block from the party action.
First
of
place
downtown.
was Tascosa. Second place was Imagine That. And third place was CS Designs.
Well, congratulations.
So, yes, congratulations to everybody. Those were some very, very wonderful, beautiful nativity scenes and just the creations. I was like, I couldn't do that.
That's part of the fun when we always tell you to go down when when you're doing your Christmas shopping and you're enjoying the lights and everything. And like you said, the businesses do their holiday storefronts and everything else.
And I believe they had that already set up when they had the Christmas light parade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's usually right when they set it up, is that 1st of December.
Yeah.
When they start. I think the contest starts usually around that 1st of December. So, well, good. Congratulations to them.
Yes, very much so.
And thank them for supporting the Humane
Danny was
Society.
like, well, as long as we can make second, I'm not trying to make first. And look at them. They made first. Congratulations.
Shoot for the second and get the first.
Yeah. I'm going to try that. No.
That's right. That sounds like that movie Dodgeball about setting the bar, See, the problem is you're setting the bar too high. You set it low, you're never disappointed.
Agreed.
That was basically the gist of the message. But anyway, as far as adoptions go, how are the cats and dogs?
We have actually had a very busy week. I had 3 vet runs this morning before coming here. I got a couple more tomorrow.
So pets are getting homes.
We are.
Awesome.
We had stopped adoptions right before Christmas because of, one, the holiday, and 2, vets' offices weren't doing surgeries.
Sure, it's kind of hard to get all the medical care they need for you to adopt during this time.
And so we still have 2 more that we're working on that, if they're not finished up this week, they'll be finished up the beginning of next week.
Okay.
But we've had quite a bit of people come in. And, what's really nice is it's not people are wanting to come in to look for gifts. They're coming in to look for family. Like, hey, we want to add a member to our family.
Yeah.
So,
well, and even so they're going to be open this week here. And even if you can't get the vets in, you can still go and meet your pet and do everything leading up to taking the pet to the vet to get spayed or neutered or microchipped microchipped.
It's only 2 or 3 more days until we're out of the holiday, craziness. So once January 2nd comes, it'll be back to normal and normal
and of course
hours.
They can set you up for in the meet and greet room where you can hang out with the dog or the cat.
I almost had to do an introduction in my office yesterday because we had the cat room full, the puppy room full, and the peewee room, and the front lobby. And I was like, okay, you got to give me just a minute because my office is not big enough for this.
What a great problem to have. I hope you have that more often, where there's so many people at one time that they're wanting to spend time. That'd be an amazing problem.
Yesterday was a very, very busy day, and it was a good busy. It wasn't, the dreaded busy. It was a very good busy. And I've only got a couple of cats left that are like technically available for adoption. I have more in quarantine, but they're not quite ready to come out yet. So
we give them a week or two, they'll be ready.
Yeah, it'll be probably the second week in January because they just came in a couple of days ago.
Okay, and they got to make weight.
And they got to get a little adjusted to the shelter.
Sure. Well, that's true. I mean, it's a whole, especially for some of these animals that
it's shelter shock. They come in and they're like, whoa, and
they got to
give them some time to calm down and relax.
Yeah, they're going to be a little like you're going to see that cat or dog right now, and you're like, I don't want that dog or cat or dog's crazy. All it does is bark and howl or whatever. Well, it's because they're getting acclimated. I'm going to guess just say you got sent to jail. That first night in jail, you're not going to be too comfortable. But after night 2 or night 3, you're like, all right, I at least got the routine down. You're
going to act feral and wild because you're going to not want anybody to mess with you.
Rate the coffee cup across the bars, Attica, whatever you're doing, and then
I laugh because every time I see like a metal coffee cup, I pick it up and I go tink it on something and I sing "Let My People Go." And when my husband and I went to Alcatraz this summer,
you did it.
I saw the metal cups and I was like, "Let my people go!" And he's just looking at me like, "Okay, calm down. You were way too excited to be in prison."
Hey, there's some bars in a metal cup. I've got to run
I've
across.
got to do this. But it was, I was like, "Oh my God, I have to do this." And he just looks at me and he's like, "Don't just stop."
Just act like an adult for a minute, please. No, it's not what I do.
It's my turn to act like a toddler.
That's right. You're the one who's handler. But anyway, I just saw the time. We better wrap it up here.
Yeah. So,
if you have any questions,
yes,
give the holiday hours for this weekend.
So, we're going to be open all the way until noon on Friday, or Saturday, sorry. And we'll be closing at noon.
Gotcha.
And then we'll reopen Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. And then the thrift store is going to close at noon as well on Saturday. And then they'll reopen Wednesday morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah. So
we're only taking a half day on Saturday just so that way we can get, the animals situated for New Year's.
Sure.
Because people are going to get fireworks and all of that. And so we got to make sure that we're able to keep them calm.
Backyard, because dogs, even if they've never escaped that yard before, if they're feeling threatened or whatever, you'll be amazed at what they get through.
The 3 busiest days at a shelter. The day after the 4th of July, the day after New Year's, and the day after Christmas.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yep, it's just so be mindful of that.
Please, if your animals have a fear of fireworks, thunder, whatever, keep them inside. Put them in a quiet area.
As a person, back when I was a kid, my dog Socks, when I was a teenager, she was one of those dogs. Matter of fact, after I left, one 4th of July, she was like 14. She got freaked out, left, and she was gone. My dad thought, we'll never see her again. They found her a week later, 5 miles away.
Wow.
14-year-old dog survived and did all that, and but because she was so freaked out, that's what I'm saying. The dog. It's that adrenaline thing kicks in, and they'll bust through fences.
Fight or flight, they gotta go.
That's what happens, and so just be mindful of that. So if you have dogs, particularly dogs, cats,
they'll run and hide themselves.
Yeah, bring them inside. If need be. Some of these dogs have, like we had her parents had a lab that was scared of thunderstorms, but you put the dog in the car, cool as can be.
So. My grandmother would have to, when it would start storming in Redoso, go to the house and open the door and let Daisy in the truck.
Yeah.
And she was fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Go drive
like if it was
around
cloudy
with
out,
Daisy.
she'd go out the back porch, look up, it's cloudy, she'd go right back inside.
Yeah, the weather detector.
First dog I ever seen that looked at the weather.
And one time I put on thunder rolls in the beginning.
She freaked out.
Real loud. I was scared.
She's not a Garth Brooks fan.
Not many are nowadays.
But anyway, RoswellHumane.org. Go there and you can see all the pets there. If you'd like to become a member, that's where you can sign up to do that. You can, and like I said, anybody and anything can become a member. Your pets, your kids, your pet rock, all of the above can become a member of the Humane Society and Roswell Humane. And if you want to kind of peruse all the animals they're calling, the Humane Society home. You'll find pictures of them at the
On the website.
If you see not available, they're in quarantine. They're not adopted. They're in quarantine. They're just waiting on weight or waiting on shots or waiting on something. Or maybe they've got, they just came in and they got to make sure they don't have parvo or any of the other communicable diseases before they put them in the general group there. So I guess we got it all.
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you very much, ma'am. Have an amazing new year, and we'll see you in 2024.
Hey, I just
now
got
I
an
can
email.
Say that.
I'm finishing another adoption today. I just got an email.
Oh, sweet.
So
look at that. All right. Keep adopting those. That'd be a problem. We said we're out of pets, guys.
I saw that one shelter, and I don't remember where it was at. Their goal was to have every animal in the shelter adopted before Christmas, and Christmas morning they had a completely empty shelter.
Good for them.
Wow.
Love that.
I was like,
amazing.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do that here one day. So. All right. It's 10:01. We got to go. I'm officially into the other show where I'm in the news. So.
I'm Jared Sorello. Local car dealers are speaking out about a new state law they say will hurt their businesses and our communities. The Environmental Improvement Board of the New Mexico Environment Department passed the so-called Advanced Clean Cars and Advanced Clean Trucks rules as part of the new rules already passed last year. After a 3-day public hearing this year, the board passed the new rules on a 3-2 vote of the 5-member commission. The new rules require automakers to deliver an increasing percentage of zero-emission cars and light-duty trucks for sale in New Mexico each year, basically EVs. Starting in 2026, 43% of all cars, 15% of Class 2 and 3 trucks, 20% of Class 4 through 8 trucks, and 15% of Class 7 and 8 trucks must be considered zero-emission. The Daily Press reports local dealers say these mandated percentages are much greater than actual demand for EV vehicles, and consumers will likely just take their business elsewhere across state lines. New Mexico wildlife officials say they're seeing a return of the iconic gray wolf. The National Park Service says the Mexican wolf has traveled back to its original habitat, signaling the success of a program under the Endangered Species Act. In 1973, that law created protections for threatened fish, wildlife, and plants, and gave states like New Mexico the ability to protect animals like the Mexican wolf. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's the season for New Year's resolutions. One of the most popular is to get in better shape. Maybe it's time to make the resolution to get your spiritual health in shape. Are you taking the time to pray, to spend time in God's Word, to spend quality time with the church? Maybe you don't know what to say to God. My advice is just start the conversation. Nothing formal is ever needed. He listens to all who reach out to him. Don't know where to start reading the Bible? Start with the story of Jesus in the book of Mark, or read a psalm or two each day. Haven't gone to church in a while because you got hurt there? Or you feel like it's full of hypocrites, or you don't think you'll fit in? Remember this one thought. Churches are not museums that display perfect people. They're hospitals where the wounded, hurt, injured, and broken all find healing. None of us are perfect, but we can gain peace and contentment from the one who is, Jesus our Savior. Take advantage of the new year to start fresh with your spiritual heart health.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. While the California Secretary of State has certified Donald Trump's presence on the March 5th primary ballot, in the state of Maine, Mr. Trump has been disqualified from appearing on the ballot.
The decision by Secretary of State Shannon Bellows follows a ruling earlier this month by the Colorado Supreme Court that booted Donald Trump from the ballot in Colorado under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. That decision has been stayed until the U.S. Supreme Court decides whether Trump is barred by the Civil War-era provision, which prohibits those who engaged in insurrection from holding office. The Trump campaign says it will appeal Bellows' decision, and Bellows suspended her ruling until that court system rules on that case. In the end, it's likely that the nation's highest court will have the final say on whether Trump appears on the ballot in Maine and in other states. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Senator Lindsey Graham goes north to stand with Chick-fil-A, the restaurant chain facing a challenge to its Sabbath day closing policy at its locations along the busy New York State Thruway.
Graham posted a video on X showing him standing outside a Chick-fil-A in New York, protesting a bill that would require the chicken sandwich giant to violate its policy of staying closed on Sundays. Graham says, quote, "This violates the Constitution. This violates the religious liberty of all of us and the company called Chick-fil-A who tries to honor the Sabbath." Graham is threatening to withhold federal funding from any state that tries to make Chick-fil-A open on Sundays. Bob Agnew reporting.
They're doing it again. Iran-backed Houthi rebels firing more ballistic missiles at American military ships in the Red Sea. No ships were hit and no one was hurt. More than 100 missiles and drones unleashed on Ukraine overnight by the Russians. The capital city, Kiev, along with Kharkiv and Lviv, were hit by Russian missiles. The Dow down 30 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Venezuela will hold offshore military drills as a British warship visits the neighborhood.
President Nicolas Maduro ordered Venezuela's armed forces to conduct defensive exercises in the eastern Caribbean. The move comes after the United Kingdom sent a warship toward Guyana's territorial waters as the South American neighbors dispute a large border region with vast oil deposits. It has been under Guyana's control for decades. In a nationally televised address, Maduro said that 6,000 Venezuelan troops, including air and naval forces, will conduct joint operations off the nation's eastern coast near the border with Guyana. Maduro said the deployment of the British ship is a threat to his country. I'm Norman Hall.
Turkey's state-run news agency says security forces have detained 32 people suspected of ties to ISIS. The suspects were allegedly planning to carry out attacks on synagogues and churches, as well as the Iraqi embassy in Turkey. News and analysis, townhall.com. New Republican-drawn congressional and legislative voting districts in Georgia have passed muster with a federal judge.
The judge Thursday rejected claims the new maps didn't cure illegal vote dilution and should be rejected, adding he can't interfere with legislative choices even if Republicans move to protect their power. The maps were redrawn in a recent special legislative session after the judge in October ruled a prior set of maps illegally harmed black voters. The approval sets the stage for them to be used in the 2024 elections and are likely to reproduce the current 9-5 Republican majority among the Peach State's 14 congressional seats. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
A Colorado woman is being sought on suspicion of killing her 2 young children and injuring a 3rd child. Authorities in Colorado Springs say an arrest warrant has been issued for 35-year-old Kimberly Singler, alleging murder, attempted murder, and child abuse. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Holiday Friday. I guess it's technically, it's not like a real regular Friday. It is a regular Friday, but with half the population still off work from the holiday, it's kind of like the tree in the woods. You never heard it, did it actually fall? Well, if everyone's off on the Friday already, is it really Friday? But to our working warriors out there today, happy Friday.
Yes.
Happy New Year's weekend as we go into the final days of 2023 here. And by the way, the final show of 2023. I guess we can safely say that. This will be the last show of this year. And we'll have a brand new show for you on Tuesday. We'll take Monday off like everybody else. That's right. But we'll take Tuesday off, or Monday off for New Year's, and then we'll have a fresh show on Tuesday for you.
Oh, we have work Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday we'll do a show, but Monday, no show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is official. By the next time we come back on this show, both you and I will own Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when it goes public domain. The Steamboat Willie Mickey.
Yes.
Not all the iterations of Mickey, but OG, the original Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lose the copyright. So in theory,
you can't pretend that you're Disney and sell Mickey to people.
If you want to make a movie or something that has the imaging of the old Mickey Mouse, they can't sue you. Kind of like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Hence that reason you saw that Pooh horror movie that came out about a year ago.
Yeah.
Where the Poohs. It's basically what's it called? Christopher Robin or something? Basically,
the horror one.
The horror one where Christopher Robin.
Blood and Honey or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it's like something where Christopher Robin stayed at some summer camp or something when he was a kid, and he had the thing with the bear and the bear. I don't know. It's a horror movie. Pooh kills people in that one, but Pooh's not a bear. He's like a guy, right? Just in a bear suit.
No, I think they're supposed to be the animals. It's just
it's just a guy in a bear suit.
It's just people in costumes, but they're supposed to represent animals. And
but anyway, the Winnie the Pooh lost its trademark because whatever how many years it goes before it expires, and so that's what came of it. Now that you can't mess with the Disney Winnie Pooh and like certain characters, but like Winnie, the stuff from the book that's really not Disney is what's
you can't like have a red shirt or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's got to look more like the book. Yeah, but
and Disney did put out a statement though saying that they're gonna try their hardest to, keep the trademark of Mickey. And they're still gonna use them, and
most people it'll be the one or two that have been itching to make some weird Mickey Mouse thing.
Yeah,
that they now finally get their carte blanche to do it, so they're gonna do it, and then we'll have a rash of these stupid things for a minute, and then we'll forget about it and go on with life. That's what'll happen.
Yeah.
But Mickey and then Donald's right around the corner, isn't
he? Yes.
I would say Donald's.
Tigger also is this year.
Okay, so Tigger can come in. So if you want to do your horror movies with Pooh and Tigger, get ready. Get your writing chops going.
But this kind of marks like a symbolic thing because the reason why we don't have a lot of things is because Disney extended the Copyright Act for Mickey.
Yeah.
Well,
that's their right. I mean, it's Disney's property. They created it. It's their.
Well, yeah, but they actively went to the courts and to change the law because it wasn't originally it was originally just 75 years after it was created.
Honest, there's nothing wrong with that. It's their intellectual property. It's their creation.
We should have Beatles music in the public domain by now if it wasn't for that.
There's still Beatles alive. I'm okay with that not happening. The artists have a right to get paid as long as that.
But like 100 years? Like
if you can still generate revenue from it for 100 years, yes.
Like we're still stuck with Old MacDonald and stuff like that.
If they are, you know what? If there's a family to that people, they should get a royalty check because that's how intellectual property works. It's their property. Just because they created it, it's their baby, and
the creator should have it.
But the creator's family say, Mickey, the guy that creates Mickey dies, well, the other family, they should get a little check for that. Now, is it going to be enough to make a living? Probably not. I mean, unless the thing is overtly popular. But
well, no, but that's not the reason why they extended the thing. It was so they can keep a stranglehold on
sure,
Mickey
when you get
Mouse
to something like
stuff.
Disney, but when you create something and it's yours, I mean,
yeah,
that's
well,
and artists have enough time getting their stuff stolen anyway, because everyone thinks if it's a music or a movie or something, oh, it's on the internet, we can all use it, and it's like, no, I worked my butt off on that song. You just don't get it for free. You want it, you got to buy it,
right?
Well,
originally it was like 75 years, which is long enough to last a whole person's life.
Yeah.
Now it's like 100 years. And so it's like kind of, it's like now you have to wait 30 more years to get stuff from the 1920s,
Yeah, but it's no different than like a logo or something. Like you look at,
like Superman and Batman should be in the public domain.
Ford or Toyota. You see that logo, that Ford logo's been around for 100 years,
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's their trademark.
Exactly. Well, how's that any different than Mickey Mouse is your trademark? I trademarked it.
Well, no, yeah, you can still have a trademark.
Yeah.
It's just the whole copyright thing, of the character and the.
Well, it's but because if you don't have what you have now, then you got what's going on in China, where they literally take every innovative thing that you've done and steal it. And that.
No, I'm not against like the patents and patent system.
But I think all of this goes into that. And if you make a product that's uberly successful, you shouldn't be punished for that. Just because it's so successful that it outlived you, well then God bless you. Not many people get a legacy like that. Just because you achieved it doesn't mean you get to lose it because this is we do things for our families and stuff. Now, if I created Mickey Mouse, I want my grandkids to still get Mickey Mouse checks because dang it, I earned that for my family.
Yeah. Well, it's not really about the checks. It's more of just like, controlling who, like nobody else gets to use this and stuff. And like nobody else gets to put this song in their works.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you created something like that and then 30 years later you saw someone do something to it and you're like, what did they do to my thing? You have a right to be mad about that.
Yeah.
It's like you took my thing and did something.
It's like toilet paper, right?
We just live in a world where everyone thinks that they can take whatever they want and it's theirs. It's like, no, you got to earn it. You got to work for it. And just because you saw something on the internet and I have an idea doesn't mean you get to steal it. That's
well, it's like toilet paper, right?
That.
The guy who made toilet paper, he was the only one who could do it at the time. Eventually, it fell into the public hands, and everyone was able to make their own toilet paper.
Sure,
because it was his idea.
Well, but right. We all need toilet paper. We all don't need Mickey Mouse.
Well, agree to disagree.
I mean, okay.
It's more of a symbolic thing. Like,
yes, things like the internet. At some point, that's going to be, everyone uses the internet and stuff like that. But when it comes to creative license for a song or a character or something like that, no, that's creative property. That's something that that came out of your brain. You own it.
I guess I just have like an artist's mind.
Yeah.
Now,
if you want to sell it to someone, that's your prerogative.
I see all these things as just like palettes on my.
But I would think from an artist's perspective, you
palette.
want to protect everything. You want to protect your works.
Yeah.
And when someone like, I'm sure Van Gogh would be pretty mad if someone just said, "Oh, I love that Starry Night thing. I'm going to paint it myself and put it out here. It's my Starry Night." It's.
I'm coming at it from a YouTube perspective because they go after people on YouTube just for using clips of their properties and stuff.
They should
for like 2 seconds
because
of it
people on YouTube have been stealing crap for people for many years, and it's about time they pay for that stuff. How many of these people are millionaires because of getting off of free stuff?
I think that's how it should be. I think the internet should remain a Wild West.
To a point, like as far as freedom and restricting on what what kind, but no, if you create content, it should be protected. You should have a protection so people just can't take it.
Right.
Wild West on the internet won't happen.
I agree.
And that's where YouTube's problem was, especially when it first came. It's like, well, we're going to show you every video known to man. It's like, great, someone owns rights to that. You just can't. It'd be no different than them taking your couch out of your house and saying, we got a couch. Y'all want to sit on this couch? We're going to put it in the street. is no different than that. They're literally taking things out of your house and putting it for everyone else to use. That's I know it's because there's nothing tangible. It's the Ethernet and it's O's and ones we're talking about here, but it's still property. It's still something. That
but it's just like when they go out of their way to do unnecessary things to like control what other people can and can't do with their property and stuff.
Well,
and,
if it's your property, you have the right to do what the heck you want with it. That's the beauty of it. And if someone else doesn't like it, tough. Make your own. That's this country. You do it yourself.
Yeah,
that's
like I said, I have an artist view of it, so it's like
but what you're talking about is what China does, and this is how and people end up living in boxes, because the government hands them everything they need. It's because this kind of stuff is gone unfettered and unregulated.
Like Andy Warhol, and he did the Campbell soup thing, and stuff, and Campbell soup didn't like that. His painting of it or whatever.
Well, that's their prerogative. They can not like it.
But that's his art.
Well, I think they paid him to do it. I'm sure he got money doing Campbell's, and things like that. And now if there's a copyright in the painting, they could sue him, and they didn't give him permission to do it.
Yeah,
he painted the Campbell's logo in there, and it's a registered trademark. And he didn't do it with their permission. Then they're within their rights to sue him.
Yeah,
but if they commission him to do something and they didn't like it, well, so be it.
Yeah. Just in my personal opinion, art is art. If I want to draw Mickey Mouse and
art is
and
art,
stuff,
but you got to protect people's creative vision too.
Yeah.
You got to protect. So otherwise you're stifling it because people are like, why am I creating if I can't benefit from it other than give it to someone else? Like you should be able to earn a comfortable living on your art if there's demand for it, and that you should have a protection.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all for it.
That.
I'm all for making your money.
Yeah,
off of
but
what
you should
create.
also be protected from someone cutting into your ability to make that money. And if you just have it out there for anybody to take, then they're not going to buy it from you. They're just going to take it for free off whatever medium they can get it from. Right. And that's why you can't just have it Wild West.
I'd say the companies are the ones stifling, but that's just my opinion.
Well, it's companies and everyone else. Companies are more noticeable because they have more money to stifle. You or I don't have that kind of money to go after everybody. Yeah. They're litigious. They've got the money where they can send their lawyers out there and go. But that's just it. The only difference is we can't afford to defend ourselves. That's where the government should come in and say, all right, that's where we need to help the little guy when they can't do it themselves. That's not for them to create regulations, but to truly create a regulation when it's truly to help the people, not, again, protect corporations and all that. I mean, we can get the debate all day.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I just, I don't really feel like defending corporations.
Well, in a utopian world, we shouldn't need any of these rules or laws. But we're human beings, and human beings are inherently as good as someone watching them. That's why things like integrity, the military preaches integrity, because by nature, human beings, I believe, do not have integrity. They will only have integrity if they have a chance of getting caught. If you put $5 on the ground and just leave it there, 99% of human beings are going to pick that $5 up, walk away, and never say nothing. It's the 1%, the very few that are going to be like, "Ooh, did anybody lose $5?" You know what I mean? It's just that's human nature. Yeah. Humans are going to be good, but if they can get away with something, they're going to do it. That's just humans.
I'm glad we had this conversation.
Amy McVeigh, she's on her way. I got a text from the Historical Society. She's texted me saying she's on her way here. She's going to join us here in just a few minutes. Do have to thank the fine folks at McDonald's. They're the only ones you can get the delicious Egg McMuffin, the OG, the original one at McDonald's. You can try to make it yourself. It never comes out the same. It just doesn't. You can try, but it just doesn't. So big thank you to McDonald's. Make sure you download that McDonald's app, add it to your smartphones. It'll save you money, time, and a lot of headache, because you can, especially if you got the kids and you're loaded up. And I know I've seen y'all do it through the drive-thru. They got the one kid screaming he wants the Happy Meal at the back. The other kid, I want chicken nuggets. The other one's like, I want the toy. Other one's over here, give me a coffee. That whole, and then you can just do it all through the app. You have your arguments, and then boom, when you get to the drive-thru, you'll be like, I got a mobile order. They'll ask you for a 4-digit code. You give it to them, and then it's like, hello there. They say Mike, because I'm Mike. They'll say your name when you do it. Yeah. And you go through and get your food. It's very easy. Don't have the headaches. Don't have the hassle. It's quick and easy. I love when I do the lunch thing and I order through the app and I see the people ordering and I just go in that second lane, zip right in. Yeah, I got a mobile order, XG52. Thanks. Come on through. And I'm in and out and I'm halfway leaving. I'm just seeing them now getting around to pay. And I'm like, see, use the app. You'd be like me. We started at the same time. I'm already out the door heading on the way. You're still sitting here waiting to pay because you didn't use the app. So.
Hello, Michael.
Right. Well, he says Mike. I go by Mike. Well, they got the one guy. It's the UFO one. And there's a gentleman there that he is the most excited order taker I have ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hey, Mike, how you doing? And I'm like, good,
Whoa.
buddy. Hey, good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I don't know how to feel about about that.
He was very nice. But, yeah, you're kind of like, whoa, do I know you?
That would catch me off guard.
Yeah, he's very, very friendly. And I'm not even sure because I know sometimes they have, like, remote takers that do orders. I'm not sure if he's in that building or somewhere else. I don't know. But that guy, and I always catch him on the inside lane. If you go to the UFO McDonald's, you know how you have the outside drive-thru and the inside? I've only caught him on the inside drive-thru. So if I go to the inside, but if I go to the outside, it's usually a female, actually. I don't know. But the inside drive lane, I always get that guy. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Yeah.
That guy. So, but big thank you to McDonald's. Download the app. It is your friend. And start earning free rewards for free food today.
That Happy Meal with the guy's Happy Meal.
Oh, the Kerwin Frost meal.
Kerwin, yeah, that
with
guy.
The nugget guys.
With the nuggets. Yeah, I think that's the first time we've ever seen the nugget, like, guys, the characters.
Oh, I
in
remember
like a
seeing them.
long time.
It was the 90s. I remember seeing them.
Yeah, since the 90s.
Well, and these are fashion ones. These are ones that
That's like 30 years ago.
Apparently, these are ones that the Kerwin Frost guy, the actor or whoever he is, I'm not sure who he is. I'm old. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not hip.
But it's still those like same characters with the eyeballs and the face, the mouths and stuff. And
it's a chicken nugget.
Used to see.
There's only so many artistic flair you can do with a chicken nugget. So, but Kerwin Frost spent a lot of time doing it apparently, and you can get him there.
You could put a beard and a hat on him.
That's right. It's like Mr. Potato Head. It is 9:23. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good all the way through the holiday weekend. High pressure in the Four Corners and the southwestern states, and that'll keep us sunny today. Afternoon high in the upper 50s to low 60s. Mid-20s and clear overnight, and then we're looking at upper 50s for the afternoon high on Saturday and Sunday. We should stay sunny. For New Year's Day, sunny and a little bit cooler, right around 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 32 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. Winds are calm at the moment. 58 for a high today under sunny skies. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 24 degrees with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your weekend on Saturday, sunny, 60. They're saying we may hit 60 tomorrow. That's what they're saying. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 29 degrees, east winds at around 5. For your New Year's Eve on Sunday, sunny skies, 58 for a high, winds out of the north 5 to 10. New Year's evening, we're looking at mostly clear skies, an overnight low of 29 degrees. For your New Year's Day Monday, we are looking at mostly sunny skies, 51 for a high. And then just kind of glancing next week, looks like we're going to be floating in the low, maybe to the mid-50s at some point next week. That's kind of the... It just fell. Literally. Just boom. I just happened to look over at it and went boom. I was like, huh? You made the mic sad. But yeah, it looks like it'll be mid-50s next week with kind of like this week. Looks like a whole lot of that. All right, 9:25, we're going to take a quick 2.5-minute break, and then Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
They're watching you. They see your social media posts. They follow your family, your friends, and your interests online because they're planning on taking your money. All of it. They're con artists. They'll use your social information to build your trust and lure you into once-in-a-lifetime investments with promises of high guaranteed returns. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Roswell Nissan's deal days are here, and that means the most wonderful deal of the year. Rates as low as 0% for 60 months for qualified buyers, 10 grand off new Armadas, 13 grand off new Titans, and top dollar for your trade. And with the largest selections of new and pre-owned inventory in the state, Roswell Nissan has what you need priced to move. With payments as low as $175 a month on quality pre-owned vehicles and a team of experts ready to make it the most wonderful deal of the year, hurry to Roswell Nissan now before the deal is gone. Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
It's the season for New Year's resolutions. One of the most popular is to get in better shape. Maybe it's time to make the resolution to get your spiritual health in shape. Are you taking the time to pray, to spend time in God's Word, to spend quality time with the church? Maybe you don't know what to say to God. My advice is just start the conversation. Nothing formal is ever needed. He listens to all who reach out to him. Don't know where to start reading the Bible? Start with the story of Jesus in the book of Mark, or read a psalm or two each day. Haven't gone to church in a while because you got hurt there? Or you feel like it's full of hypocrites, or you don't think you'll fit in? Remember this one thought. Churches are not museums that display perfect people. They're hospitals where the wounded, hurt, injured, and broken all find healing. None of us are perfect, but we can gain peace and contentment from the one who is, Jesus our Savior. Take advantage of the new year to start fresh with your spiritual heart health.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily, and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:28, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas. Happy New
Yay!
Year.
Happy
I think
holidays.
it was before Christmas. I think I saw
I know
you,
it's
so.
been a while.
How was your
Everybody
holiday?
says I'm always on the radio all the time, but I think it's been a while.
Well, we had
a really good holiday.
Holidays and everyone doing things.
Shout out to my husband. He says we celebrate Christmas and the holidays more than any family he's ever known. But you know what? I don't know. It's a great time just to be festive, enjoy friends, family. And
I've never heard someone say, we've had too much celebration, too much
exactly.
We're too happy. We're too,
We've had too much
fun this week. We got to reel that in a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, no one says that.
So shout out, we're going to celebrate more this weekend. So there you go.
Good deal. That's good. But of course, since we last spoke, we had our volunteer Christmas party, and had a great turnout for that.
Yes.
And
you know what? It was funny, and I don't believe your wife wasn't able to make it for the first time. And shout out to our Secret Santa and Mrs. Claus, Gary and Kathy, for making that possible. So a private donor straight up wrote a check and said, we want you to bless your amazing volunteers. And what a blessing, right? But Mike, we almost did too good, because I believe we had over 50 people. We ran out of plates. We were using fall things. We almost ran out of food. And
that's
like
a good problem to have.
Usually we have like baked goods that we put in trays and like bring to 106.5.
Take home, yeah.
If you're wondering why y'all didn't get the blessings,
Good.
we had a great turnout.
The people that should get the blessings got the blessings.
That's exactly
the good
right. So huge shout out to all of our volunteers. It was a great event.
And we thank you, every single one of them, because we would not be able to even have that historical society or anything about it without the hard work and volunteer and dedication of those volunteers.
It's true. And we have a lot of silent servants. We have people serving and blessing behind the scenes. You would never see their face. You would never know their name.
And they don't want to. But they get kind of salty when we
hearing the
recognize
needs.
them.
They're seeing the needs. And they said, what do you need? Here it is. And we need that. And we would not exist without it. So huge shout out to everybody. And we are still celebrating the holidays. Our museum is beautiful. And please call the museum him at
We can still get you a tour.
622-833. We're going to be decorated till the second week in January.
Okay.
So if you say, you've kind of collected yourself, you've cleaned the house, you've celebrated the holidays, come to us and see the beautiful museum.
And I know some of you out there, you organized planner people types, you out there, some of you out there that you're thinking, let's go and do our Christmas photos for next year.
There you go.
Now.
There you go.
And now the Christmas is over and everyone's done. And you're like, hey, we can go to the Historical Society, maybe do a family photo on the porch there with the Christmas lights still up. And guess what? Our photo's ready, and we could get out our Christmas cards like right after Halloween now.
See, you're going to be ahead of the game. We did, and we did. I did that with my sweet little family, and we had a great time. And we even did a pajama photo. That's hot and popular. So please, 622-8333, Miss Jane, Melanie, Fred. We've got a lot of tour guides.
If you still got family in town and you're looking for some activities, do call. Thanks to our docents, our volunteers, we can, and we do private, personalized tours now. So you just call, make an appointment time, and we'll meet you there, and you'll get a personalized tour. And don't tell nobody, but it's kind of a little better than the old way. Just saying, it's a little more personal.
That's right. If you want to come a little early, Miss Jane's gonna connect with you. If you want to come a little later, Fred, we've got it both ways.
We have amazing volunteers and docents, but if you do get Miss Jane, it's kind of a bonus a little bit.
It is bonus.
Yeah, she's so. Hey, she's one of our biggest, hugest volunteers and servers, but she's a very good tour guide, has a lot of information about
She
that place
really does. Yeah. So 622-8333, or you can text me right now or get me direct at 575-915-4471. I do believe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day we will not be available, but again, we will stay decorated till the second week in January, and pretty much morning to evening, we're all in.
We're all going to be broke.
We just need 24 hours.
Yeah. And we're all going to be broke next week.
Right.
We're all going to be like, dang, when's tax returns get here?
Exactly.
We're all going to be broke.
Exactly.
So you're looking for cheap or free things to do.
That's right.
We're pretty cheap. You give us a donation. You got $20, whatever, whatever you can afford.
Yep.
And we're going to treat you to an awesome experience.
Yeah, that's right.
But again, I cannot thank those volunteers enough.
Sure.
Every single one. To the ones that come and help in the archive, to the ones that give the tours, to the ones that show up at every one of our school tours or community events, to the ones that just serve by landscaping or doing repair work or whatever needs to be done to that facility. Every single person that's had a hand on that place has been a godsend.
That's right. We've got college kids coming home calling saying, "Can I help during the holidays?"
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So whether it's an hour, minute, money,
well, part of that too
prayer,
is what we as our board and board members before us and people before you and I that came here, establishing what we do with that historical society, and there is literally generations of youth and things that have gone up through the historical society. We got quite a great little track record thanks to some of our donators of years of students that have gotten scholarships and have gone on to do amazing things and are doing it continuing, and they come back and part of the fold or part of the family, and that's part of, like you said, how can we help? Because they said, 10 years ago you helped me through college, and now I'm here in the area and I want to come back and maybe we're even been around long enough where some of these kids have kids.
They do. We changed our security service, and it was down in Artesia.
Yeah.
And Felix answered the phone, and I'm like, Felix was my boy. It hasn't been that many years. Yes, ma'am, Miss Tess, I have 3 kids. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have been with the Historical Society over 10 years.
That's like my wife. She's been teaching for 20 plus years. And like one day there was a police officer that came, and I was like, Mrs., she's like, Mrs. He's like, we didn't break any laws. And it's like, oh, no, that was Kim's student. Second grade student from years ago. Yeah, she's got grand students now, too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's when you feel real old. When you're
older.
Geez.
We're just vintage, we're just getting to our prime, though.
Back to the Future's still cool. Don't
We're like the wine, though. We age, and we keep getting better and better. Yeah, that's right.
Mine's got a bit of a bitter taste, just a little bit.
It's got a kick to it.
That's right. It's got a kick.
That Mike Winters wine, it'll just kick and get it.
They hint of vinegar at the end there.
It'll just get you real quick. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome.
But that's and to be honest, I like doing what I do and all that, but to me, that's the coolest thing is when you see like these folks that were involved 10 years ago or 20 years ago as kids, and they come back and now they've got their families and they're, kind of living their own lives and getting it back and doing their thing. And granted, it's all on them, but it's always nice to say, and deep down there, we played a little role in
just
helping.
Just a little bit.
Keeping that person on the path a little bit.
As like Christina and I believe we're super connecting. We're just connecting one more dot in that big art piece of art palette. But I did bring my list, and I do want to just mention some fun things. You challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Mike. So that day that we did so well with the volunteer party, that very night is when Jason and I went. So we were.
Yeah, you literally had to take it from the party. They were still in their cocktail dresses.
We were.
Jason was too.
Well, Jason was like Superman. He went into the bathroom of the volunteer party and came out with his uniform. And I think it was Elaine that said, "Dang!"
It's like Superman in the phone booth.
So, I think one of my coolest memories out there at New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy is Tina Cisneros and others on the head panel referred to us as life changers. And I am honored to resemble that remark, even if it's a little bit.
Sure.
So what a privilege that Troy Hayes and FM Nelson made possible. And I just want to read the names because, Mike, there was, every graduation cycle, every once in a while I'll feel some male power. Well, then we'll feel the female power. Some men were coming in strong.
Okay.
I believe most of our scholarship recipients, ironically, will be attending New Mexico Institute.
Oh, so they might get to see Jason a little more than they realize.
Yes, so we're really, really excited.
Good.
Our top recipient, and he will be attending New Mexico Military Institute, is Brian Joseph Thomas.
All right.
He received a $1,000 scholarship.
And these are all high school seniors for this scholarship.
They are graduates of the New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy.
Yes.
And I think, Mike, one of these individuals had an extremely high set score.
Good.
Man, they were breaking some records.
Good deal.
So these are New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy scholarship recipients, and I don't believe most of them were from Roswell.
Okay.
I know one of them was from Alamogordo. They I believe all of them were in the New Mexico area, but I do not believe they were from Roswell. So again, Brian Joseph Thomas is a New Mexico Youth Challenge graduate, $1,000 scholarship on behalf of the Historical Society.
Cool.
Seth James Ketching, special young man. He even stated never even dreamed any of this would be possible, and he calls us his family now.
That's awesome.
And so he high-fived us. And
These
said
are young people that got direction in their lives, and are now the sky's the limit for them. Yeah.
So Seth James Ketching got a $500 scholarship, Emmanuel Torres $500, and Marco Martinez. If you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll be posting these images, and we just want you to see their faces. These were life-changing opportunities, and we just want to give a shout-out. I know Tina Cisneros received an award also. They're in the life-changing business out there, and they're doing great things. I think that they're one of our gems that we need to let them shine a little bit more. I don't know that they get the credit that they deserve out there.
It's really one of those few places in town where miracles happen every day, and it flies under the radar for most.
Wow,
most
and they've
people.
got great plans to even advance and do great things. So shout out and high five from the New Mexico Youth Challenge.
And those
Academy.
students that are going on to the New Mexico Military Institute from Youth Challenge, they should. I bet they're going to do pretty well since coming from Youth Challenge, there is a military style discipline and regime
They're doing
to that.
some life-changing of their own, Mike. I think there were 9 out of 50. So we were talking like almost a fifth of the class was going to New Mexico Military Institute. So shout out to
that group
both
of freshmen.
entities.
They might be because imagine especially if the kids don't have any kind of military background and they go the first time to the institute.
Oh yeah,
that's an eye-opening experience for those folks because you're really changing. Whereas Youth Challenge, these young men and women, they've already experienced some of that in their lives, so they're kind of already in that mode. So they're probably going to get there, and they're going to turn to be the leaders probably for that freshman class.
I really think that
when,
is
when,
true.
when they're when they're trying to show these kids how to keep their uniform straight and get their rooms in order and inspection order, all that. Youth Challenge kids are like, shoot, this is old hat for us.
Well,
and
you know what was so cool, and shout out to New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy, one of the last actions they took the day before their awards ceremony was taking a tour of the Historical Society, every dadgum one of them. And it was so cool that we were talking about the sovereign ground that they were on is so historical. Then we were making the rah-rah connections of potential, and we were even making those connections. You may be one of those kids to make a connection. So sky's the limit. That's a great opportunity. If you are listening and want to be part of the 2024 New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy and or high school senior scholarships, please donate now. We're having to make those hard budget decisions to know how much money we've got for New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy, how much money we have for high school seniors.
It is a bit of a dance.
Oh, it's a dance and a privilege and an honor, but it's not easy. And Troy Hayes was just calling, and we were talking about budget and stuff. So we need more money.
And for transparency reasons and everything else, there's a lot of kind of red tape, so to speak, that you have to do for the better, for the good, because, we have nothing but good intentions, but unfortunately, there are people in this world that use platforms like this to do nefarious stuff.
Yes.
So there's usually red tape for us to kind of prevent that from happening, which does create headaches and things. But you know what? The juice is so worth the squeeze on this.
It is.
And so we're so glad and we're so thankful for the Troy Hayeses and these other great people that say, hey, I want to use you guys as the conduit to say these kids need a chance, and I want to help them, and their trust in us to do that is an honor.
We take it seriously. It's serious money. Names aren't they're numbers, and we do spreadsheets and we tally everything up. And all Troy did, the other day was call and say, "Do you have enough money?" And I jokingly know it's never enough money. But the challenge is out there. If you just want to impact lives, be a life changer, and do you do nothing but text or call us and make a one-time donation, and that money is utilized, secured. It is in a separate account, and huge shout-out. I'm going to say that name. Huge shout-out to Steve Harris. He's amazing at Edward Jones because he helps our pennies turn into quarters and our quarters turn into dollars. And before you know it, we have another scholarship, and that's what it's all about.
Well, because of him, we only have to do 1 or 2 drive-through fundraisers here, not 50.
That's so funny. Well, that's true. And I was just making the list for next year. Here we go again.
Speaking of,
that's true.
But, since we're talking about scholarships and things, but for all you high school seniors out there, now that we're getting through the Christmas break,
that's right.
We're starting into the spring semester. Guess what? Graduation is a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It really is.
Now's the time to maybe start percolating if you're interested in applying for the 2024 scholarships for high school seniors. They're pretty much going to be close to what they were last year, give or take a little bit.
They will go live on our website on February 1st. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or RoswellNMHistory.org.
Yeah, but now's the time to start kind of percolating because there is some prerequisites. You have to write an essay and things, and it is a competition, so you got to put your best foot forward here. So now's the time to maybe, and I know, I get it. Some of y'all are like, when's the deadline?
Oh,
2 days out, that's when I'll start working.
It's
I know.
Amazing. We'll have like 10 applications, and I'll look at about 11 when the deadline literally closes at 12. And we'll double, quadruple, or even more at the end. It is true.
We are procrastinators by nature, but now at least if you're not ready to write, start thinking about your theme, start thinking about the content you want to get in there. Maybe start making your I don't know the fancy ways nowadays, like make your outline or whatever you do to prep to write your paper. I know there's different methods on how to teach that stuff. So.
And let me say this: if you're a high school senior and want to start volunteering at the Historical Society, to me that's bonus points. And
it's
if you want to get
too.
involved, it is to have fun, and then we'll connect you with teen leadership because you and I both are honored to be part of Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. Teen Leadership Institute will be coming up in March or April. We haven't set the dates. I think it's April. And that's that time too.
And here's the thing about that. New Mexico Military Institute, once again, always partners with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association to make that event the best event ever.
And I will say it's going to look a little bit different this year. We're not going to be on that property as much.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a little bit more. To me, this year, Mike, which is a great concept, we're going to do like a mini Leadership Roswell kind of concept.
All right.
We're going to get these kids out a little bit.
So they're going to go to different destinations.
They will,
throughout the
and I think it's
3 days
unique
there?
because we were saying, it's a little teaser for Leadership Roswell.
Mhm.
So we have been making contacts with a lot of different entities to, I think, get out a little bit more in the community, which these darn kids that are doing so many things haven't been able to do that.
Well,
so I think we're going to get out a little bit more.
And this is where I always recommend, things like teen leadership. When I grew up as a kid, I was involved in scouting. That was from Cub Scouts till I was 21 years old, I was involved in scouting. For me, that's where I got a lot of that kind of stuff. But if you don't have your child in that kind of thing, then guess what? This is the perfect thing for that. The Leadership Academy, because I'm telling you, everything I see in that is stuff that was, or parts of it were introduced to me in scouting and through those. So, and they're all skills that will serve your child well as an adult. Doesn't matter if they join the military or if they are a garbage man or an architect. It doesn't matter. The skill sets they use will be life skills. Things like how to work with a group of people, how to be an effective leader, how to know when to hold them.
More follower and not
when
leader.
When to, to quote the great Kenny Rogers, when to walk away, when to run, when to hold them, to fold them. That's kind of,
and
that
I
leadership
think it's
stuff.
kind of a little bit of a bad rap. I think some are intimidated thinking it's more of an athletic type thing. And it's ironically quite the opposite.
Yeah. It's not about athletic skill. It's about getting a group of people thinking and working together to get through a challenge.
It's really more mind over matter and just being an all-around great.
To be honest, it's more about collect. Yes, they're trying to get you over a wall or something.
Exactly.
But it's not about your physical prowess. It's like, how do we get 15 people all over the wall?
That's right.
Including the one in the wheelchair.
Exactly.
That's how we do it. That's the point.
And you know what? There's life lessons involved, whether you win a scholarship or not. So get involved. A lot going on. Follow RoswellNMHistory.org to learn more about our high school scholarships. I do believe there will be over $10,000 available through those scholarships. We'll go live after February 1st. It's time to start planning school tours. If you're listening, if you're retired,
that's a couple months away too.
Oh my goodness! It
April
really all happens.
You know it.
Yes, it all happens at once. Yeah, all of them. So if you want to be part of school tours, to be a volunteer or get involved, we're working right now with the school district. The biggest thing is finding that 2-week threshold to get all these amazing fourth graders from the Roswell Independent School District and Dexter and high school and homeschoolers all involved. So if you want to be more involved, if you just wanted to make a contribution to allow to help us with our sponsorships, when you have 1,000 fourth graders, they all get backpacks. They all do all of these
They're
type
all making
items.
butter and doing the fun activities.
So if you wanted to nothing but become a sponsor, call the museum at 622-8333. It really gets exciting when you start. It's my favorite time of the year. It's really
It's a lot
exciting.
of prep work, but once the event happens and you see the kids doing the thing and having fun, you're like,
oh yes.
Okay, now now it's worth
goodness,
it. You know,
that's the good stuff.
But yeah, I get it. You're like, how many more rolls of paper towels do I got to collect?
Toilet paper, paper towels, water, whether it's milk, butter, all these things. We need it all. We need help. So that's really, really exciting. A couple of new things, Mike. I sent you a couple of emails, and I hope that it's one thing's related to food, and I'm like, okay, Mike Winters is going to be all over it with it. It's food. Mike Winters. Mike Winters will be there.
Matter of fact, I got a cast iron pot just sitting here that's coming home because that's another food-related conversation.
That's awesome. So huge shout out to Texas Roadhouse. We will dine to donate and support the Historical Society. Mark your calendars on Tuesday, February 20th. From 3 to 10 p.m., Amazing Texas Roadhouse will give 10% of the donation. You have to say, I'm supporting the Historical Society. So on that night, from 3 to 10, if you go in,
don't worry, we're going to be screaming from the rooftops like, hey, go have dinner tonight at Texas Roadhouse. Go tell them it's for the Historical Society. And whether you do it, I guess it works to go or dine in,
well,
right?
And that's a good question that I don't know. I believe all purchases are total food purchase. So, example, if you got something to go, I believe you have to hand your receipt to the front desk and say, here's my receipt. I support the Historical Society. So I believe that's the way it works.
So if you don't want to sit down and eat, please do do it that way and that way.
That's right.
Because I get you. I love going in there and saying, and then they hand me a bag of steaks and I leave. That's an amazing day when that happens. So, and I get it. You love doing that, but make sure you do say,
right.
hey,
Yay!
here's my receipt. I want to make sure my proceeds go to the Historical Society.
That's exactly right. So Tuesday, February 20th, 10% of donation that night. If you say we support the Historical Society, we'll go to the Historical Society, and huge shout out to Texas Roadhouse.
And to be honest,
we really appreciate that.
I don't know how they pull it off because they give you big old steak dinners, and I ain't gonna lie, it's way less expensive than I think it's gonna be. Like
it's true.
Like I go there
knowing
and I think,
all the
oh
food.
man, I'm gonna drop $100 for this dinner, and then I see the bill and it's $60 or $50. I'm like, wow, that's so cheap. Bless you. That is so cheap for the amount of food I got here.
Oh, and while I'm thinking
I don't know
about
how they
it,
make money, but they do. So.
Ralph and I went to Texas Roadhouse, and I don't know who our silent angel was, but they picked up our tab. If you're listening, shout out. We appreciate that. So then now we're going to pay it forward. Ralph and I are. So again, it's just good stuff. It's
Absolutely.
during the holiday season, good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, mark your calendar for donating blood.
Yeah, that'll be in March here.
Yes, that's exactly right. So mark your calendar. People call me all the time, and while we're talking about these things, if you get out your phone and put it on the calendar, you'll remember. So make sure and do February 20th, Texas Roadhouse, March the 5th, donating blood.
Well, and
the
I know
blood mobile will be at the Historical Society.
And because usually our blood donors, especially our regulars, they can donate whatever 45 days or whatever the window is.
That's right.
So we want to get this out ahead of time.
That's right.
So they can plan accordingly. So they say, okay, if you need to donate now,
yes.
that way
somebody
you're good
was just doing
in
that.
March
That's
here.
why it's so important. Yeah. And I think we get lax with that, and we don't keep our calendars, and we could do it more often.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, that includes myself. I need to do that. So mark your calendar and align March the 5th with Historical
And
Society.
to be honest, donating blood is the easiest thing you can do that has the biggest impact for the least amount of effort on your part, if that makes sense. Like,
for sure.
At the end of the day, you're just sitting there letting someone take a pint of blood out of you, and then they treat you to cookies and all that. But you're literally saving a life doing that.
Yes.
Within about a week of time, that blood that they're pulling from your arm is going to be in a hospital somewhere, contributing to someone who needs it at that moment.
It's so true.
Could be a life-saving surgery. It could be a car accident. Could be any number of things, but that you save lives. And unfortunately, they're never at a point where they say, you know what, we're good to go. They're always in demand. During break times, like Christmas and the summer, are slower because schools, believe it or not, are one of the biggest donors of blood.
Right.
So
those large
like we'll do a one
right.
here in March, but really the one we'll probably do around June, July time frame.
Right.
Well, that one will be even more desperate because there's less donors generally donating
it's
at that
deal.
time. So if you can get on the regular schedule where every 45 days or every couple months, you can go and make an appointment somewhere to donate blood and kind of work it. And all I'm saying, Amy spoils people when they donate blood with us.
Right.
She'll call blessing. She spoils them with cookies.
Yes,
and if you walk out of there empty-handed, it's because you snuck out of there and ran.
That's the honor of my grandmother, Ada. Ada Mashaw, you could not leave her house without your hands full.
Yeah.
Boom. I learned that from my grandmother.
Well, so I'm just saying it might behoove you to work your schedule to make sure that you're available to donate blood in March during the Historical Society's blood drive.
And nothing it is better than looking at your text and saying, thank you for saving a life. You just saved a life and wherever. Man, and every time I get that, Mike, I'm like down and out. I'm missing my mom. And then you get that and you think, you know what, guys, it's not about us. It's about so much greater. So I was asked this, and I always get asked these crazy questions. Mike, I always get asked, what does the Historical Society have to do with donating blood? Guys, we are an organization that we believe it's not about us.
We're a community-based organization. We're a service organization, and this is service, what we do.
Oh, and thank you for mentioning service because it automatically reminded me. Over the holidays to date, I believe we've donated over 350 children's books in honor of Mary Lou Glass.
Keep it
we
coming.
took some to the community kitchen. Shout out to Brad and them. They're amazing. They're part of our family. They're our extended family. They
and you
need
can always
food.
bring
They
us
need
food.
help.
Like if you got canned foods and stuff, don't know what to do with it, give it to
amazing.
us. We'll make sure it gets
Not
over.
too
to
long
the
ago, somebody just brought me some cash and said, "Hey, yes.
We'll
Then,
take all of that.
Then we also took a large group of books right before the open house to the after-school program, the Working Mother's Day Nursery. Huge shout out to Del Journey.
Love that.
Then, so it is not over. We will, as far as I'm concerned, we will not stop collecting loose change. And we will not stop collecting kids' books. Every kid book, when you open it, will have a sticker saying, donated in honor of Mary Lou Glass, silent servant. So bring your books. During the holidays, if you're home with your kids, clean out the books. We want new or slightly used books.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw Amazon had a great deal. I could get 50 books for so much money. Give us a call. Huge shout out to Pat and so many that helped make that possible. I mean, Pat brought boxes.
That's
like
great.
good books.
Well,
and we're like, oh my goodness. I mean, like good books.
That's great. And that's the beauty of kids' books, too, is because at some point they outgrow them, but the books are still there. So it's given to the next generation.
And that's the way her family kind of goes. We don't want to let go of this book. But so please call the museum. We'll even pick them up. So if you have 2 big boxes of books, call 622-8333, slightly used or new books.
Good deal.
Yes.
You know,
good stuff.
When I was like 4th and 5th grade, I will tell you right now, it's almost out of time. I can't really do it. My most favorite books ever that I checked out at the library from school, like every other week, was the Shel Silverstein books, Where the Sidewalk Ends, and his other book, A Lighthouse in the Attic, I think is what it was called. And it was him doing those kind of Dr. Seuss-like poems.
Yeah.
And as a
the
kid,
good stuff that you
know,
just don't forget.
But
it's memorable.
But he used to slip in like boogers every once in a while or something. And as a 4th grader, you read the word booger in a book, man, you're just a party.
Hey, it's right there. It gets to your heart.
It's like, it says booger. He said green gravelly booger.
They said that in a book. That's okay.
But those are my favorite ones. I used to always check out. So
awesome.
I hope there's 1 or 2 of those in the
just
pile.
before we get off the air, don't forget it's membership time. January 1 is generally membership renewal time.
So renew
your memberships.
or if you want to become a member, this is a good time to do that. They have different levels. You can do it individually as a married couple,
$30 up to $1,000
as a business,
you
or
could be a scholarship membership. And last but not least, shout out to Sandra. I was praying, Mike. I'm retail based. I prayed for $3,000 more to get us where we. Boom, Sandra donated $2,000 last night. Special thank you to Sandra. It's just special, and you know, great things happen when we all work together. So I really, really appreciate. You can make donations online, purchase books, herd prints, all of that.
Yeah,
or just renew
if you
for
botch
every
Christmas.
penny. That's true.
Christmas.
That's true. We'd even deliver, and we have done that before. We have wrapped and delivered, and you, there's a special man out there. I'll just call him Mr. A. He always does that, Mike, and we always come through for him.
Awesome.
We do.
Good.
We do.
Well,
we'll wrap it.
And then when you botch Valentine's Day, then we'll help you out with
That's
with
good for
Texas
me.
Roadhouse on the
That's
20th.
That's true. You tried the week after. See, it can just keep on
Exactly.
celebrating.
Well, we've been bailing you out since 1902.
And huge shout out to Poke Horn, celebrating history.
Yeah,
and all those
final day of basketball.
That's
Get
the
to the
legacy
gym.
honoring the history. So huge shout out.
Final day of basketball action at both Goddard and Roswell today here for the Poke
It's
Horn.
great time of the year. Hook 'em.
Go
Longhorns. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys. We really appreciate it.
And we'll see
Good
you
job with all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You too, and we'll see you in 2024.
Oh, my goodness.
See you in a year. All right, 9:59. Quick break before No Mas Radio Show. Don't go away.
Hey, it's your new source for appliances, Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new and minor scratch and dent appliances, and right now, through the end of the year, get wall-to-wall discounts on all in-stock inventory. Save up to 50% on refrigerators, washers, and dryers from the brands you know and trust, like Samsung, Whirlpool, and GE. All come with warranty and personalized service, and we also sell parts. Financing and delivery options available. Come see us now through the end of the year and save up to 50% store-wide. Roswell Appliance Outlet at 600 South Main in Roswell.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water-diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating 2 companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head
to resolve ballot challenges was in the courts. Ken Lorman reporting.
Also at townhall.com, officials in Russia say the Russians have launched 122 missiles and dozens of drones against Ukrainian targets, killing at least 27 in what one Air Force official called the biggest aerial barrage of the war. Ukrainian officials say at least 144 people injured and an unknown number were buried under rubble during that roughly 18-hour onslaught. Correspondent Rita Foley reports on what to expect if you're driving today.
It's good news and not so good news if you're on the road today. Today's expected to be one of the most congested days on the road during this holiday season. Saturday is expected to be busier than usual, too. But gas is $3.12 a gallon today, says the AAA. That's about the same as this time last year.
And powerful surf rolling on the beaches on the west coast of Hawaii as a big swell generated by the stormy Pacific Ocean pushes towards shorelines. A high surf warning for parts of Northern California, waves up to 40 feet in some locations. The Dow hit 122 points, the Nasdaq up 101. More at townhall.com.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898, and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Deutsche Bank has pledged nearly $5 million in funding to help combat human trafficking in New Mexico.
The announcement comes 7 months after Deutsche Bank settled a lawsuit for $75 million. They claimed the German lender should have seen evidence that the late Jeffrey Epstein engaged in sex trafficking when he was a client. A woman who alleged she was abused by Epstein asserted the bank chose profit over following the law. New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torres is investigating several financial service companies and their role in what he says is a failure to identify sexual abuse and trafficking of underage girls at Epstein's ranch in Santa Fe County. I'm Ben Thomas.
French authorities say an avalanche on Mont Blanc has killed 2 skiers and injured another. An investigation was opened into the cause of that avalanche. Weather conditions were said to be very unstable for such risky outings. Breaking news at townhall.com. This is nothing to smile about.
Just months after filing for bankruptcy, Smile Direct Club announced it's shutting down its global operations and halting its teeth aligner treatment. That leaves existing Smile Direct Club customers with a lot of questions. But there is no more customer care support from the company and few details so far about possible refunds. Multiple dental organizations and orthodontists have cautioned patients about safety concerns arising from such direct-to-consumer dentistry. Rich Thomason reporting.
Hawaii's governor and mayor welcoming tourists back to the west side of Maui. Months after August wildfires killed at least 100 people and destroyed more than 2,000 buildings. They want the economic boost that tourists will bring, particularly heading into the year-end holidays. However, visitation is still down about 20% from December of last year.